game. While we're waiting for the game to start, if you want to check out what Lily's been doing. But Lily, you obviously, by way of being the most female of anybody on the team, this is a great day for women's sport.
Oh, it is absolutely fantastic. I'm excited, so I can't even imagine what the girls out there are feeling right now, to be honest. I just can't believe it.
Well, Paddy Hill, we interviewed him at half-time hoops, and he said that he thought that half of them would be bouncing off the walls, half of them would be feeling sick, and the other half can't count.
I think the thing is, with today's game, there's going to be a whole lot of nervous women playing, but you know what, once the game starts and the action starts, they'll be throwing themselves in. They're just making their way to their positions now, so I believe that we now may be on air at vfl.com.au, so a very warm welcome to everybody there at vfl.com.au. Neil Butler hosting today, Paul Hooper, Lily Scasey, Peter Lausch on the boundary, and also Phil Edwards calling the shots here. But great to be with you on vfl.com.au. We're also streaming live at 3wbc.org.au and on radio at 94.1 FM.
Typically in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, you won't get that
correct.
down here at Geelong, obviously, with the weather with the signal the way it is. But it looks like it's going to be Abby Tanner taking the ruck for Box Hill. And in the centre, it looks like it might be Cassandra Hines doing the ruck work for the Cats. We are in readiness. Umpire stepping in towards the centre. We don't have umpires' names, unfortunately. Holds the ball aloft. I think Lily should call the first play. Go on, give us a go. Come on.
All right, the umpire's just throwing the ball up, and Box Hill get the first tap at the ground. Bit of scrappy at the moment. It has been a bit wet, but Box Hill managed to boot the ball forward into the hands of Geelong. Unfortunately, they're running down the ball, and Neil take over.
Okay, so
big tackle laid on there, and free kick will go to McElvina. So McElvina for Box Hill goes inside 50. It was a beautiful tackle running down the Geelong back player. So picked up there. That is by Woodruff, Kristen Woodruff for Geelong. And so rain starting to tumble down. Do you know what? It was 10 minutes before we started. It was beautiful. So in commentary, we've got Neil Butler, Paul Hooper, and in special comments, Lily Scasey on the boundary, Peter Lausch.
We thought we'd throw it to Lily. Since it was the first ever game of women's footy, it was important that you started the game.
As I was just trying to do a social post.
That's okay. That's okay. It's all good. So the ball's deep in the forward line for the Box Hill Hawks. It is getting dark here now, and Box Hill in good position to go up with the ball, get a score here, but the ball comes into a pack, picked up and kicked out that time by, looked like it might have been Woodruff getting the quick kick in. Good effort by two players, one from each side. Handball ends up in the hands of Woolett, and the Cats managed to get away and kick it down to the wing, but it's going to be turned over and taken by Meters.
So Meters, it was Woolett who took the second ball there, but trying to come in and grab it for Box Hill was Kais. Ball in dispute. Girls going in pretty hard here. In the hands there of Blakeway. Blakeway goes forward, but good mark in defence taken by Box Hill, and they will relieve. So Box Hill, just a poor kick came off the side of the boot there. So in the hands there of Woolett, goes long, not able to take the mark, trying to run onto it there is the player in Habib. Alicia Habib has it, gives it off there. Can Geelong kick the first goal? And they do.
It's Jordan Ivey.
So Ivey kicks the first goal. Great work by Habib there to get that across to Ivey. So Ivey kicks the first goal. Jordan Ivey, the number 5 player. So the first goal in women's or VFLW competition, that goes to Geelong. They are one straight. Box Hill yet to score.
If I had have been Alicia Habib, I think I would have pushed away and just had a shot at goal to be the first goal kicker ever for Geelong. But she did the right thing, got it across to Jordan Ivey. It is a bad mistake made then by the Hawks. The player there, in Olivia Flanagan, didn't get out of the square in time. Ball's kicked to Mithen. Mithen kicks, she's one we do know. Ball kick forward, but that's a terrific mark. That looks like it might have been taken by Hayley Trevine.
Yep.
Played a few games for the Blue, one game for the Blues in the AFW. Kicks inside 50 and ball spilled in the back line. Picked up and thrown onto the boot, that time by Ivy again. Ball rolling out of bounds.
Well, that might have been touched anyway.
Yeah, and it will be thrown in deep in attack for the Cats.
You listen to 3WBC, it's 94.1 FM, VFLW football round 1, Geelong versus the Box Hill Hawks. It's up forward now for the Geelong side. So trying to take it out of the ruck there. 2 hands actually punched down there. That was by Tanner for Box Hill. So Box Hill, they just relieve. Nearly take it out, picked up and thrown on the left boot there by Nixon. So Nixon just wobbles towards the boundary. It'll go out. No, it won't. It's kept in. Well done by Box Hill. That's through the aid of Pereira. No, actually, so that was McElvina. So go forward now for Box Hill. Chain of handballs. Geelong now, very patient work. Spots up the player, Cassie Blakey, in the centre of Simmons Stadium.
In fact,
sorry, Blake
former
Way.
school friend of Lily Scasey, as I understand.
She was always the one to put her hand up in school. We used to do a girls' football game between the campuses, and she was always in the thick of it.
So it's right in bang smack in the middle of Simmons Stadium here. Of course, we are streaming live at vfl.com.au. Thank you. If you'd like to get aboard, you can find us on Facebook or on Twitter.
I've just tweeted out a link to the video stream.
Beautiful, well done. Thank you.
The voice of Philip Edwards.
So on the right boot is Mackie. Mackie goes inside 50 for the Hawks, bounces off the chest of the Geelong defender. Butters up pretty well though. Handball off, trying to collect it is Marnie, or Mahoney, depending on where you come from. So good work there by Surgeon. And Surgeon, had it lost it, we will have a ball up. It's 45 metres out, directly in front of the Box Hill goal.
You are listening to Football Live on 3WBC and streaming through VFL.com.au. I'm Neil Butler, he's Paul Hooper, and the ladies' voice you'll hear is Lily Scasey. Quick kick forward by the captain there in Kais. 2 Box Hill players picked up and have a flying shot at goal, that time by Shaylee Taylor. And she will go down in history as the first person to score for the Box Hill Hawks in VFL women's football. It was only a behind, but Shaylee Taylor, for those of you who are having a sweep. Geelong 1 goal, Box Hill 1 behind. We've played 5 minutes in the first quarter of this game, and that's brought to you with the compliments of Dream Street Home Loans.
So it is Geelong, but it was a poor kick picked up here by Trevelyan. So Trevelyan goes long. No one can take the mark there. Pack forms right on the boundary. Ball's in the spirit. The umpire doing a good job just letting it go here. Here's Box Hill trying to get trying to pick it up, but Butterfingers wasn't able to do that. That was Flanagan. So here they come now, inside 50, the Hawks. Geelong do well to defend. Kicking to space. Oh, great mark taken. No, the umpire said no. Gee, you very stiff there, not being paid. The mark there was Boyd. So Boyd gave it off there to Strawn. Strawn over the top. Here come Geelong. They go up forward now. No one can take the mark there. Both players diving forward, couldn't take it. Here's Box Hill off the carpet. So coming forward now for the Box Hill Hawks, going one way then the other. And the player there that actually had it off the carpet, the umpire said you were taken too high.
Flanagan.
I was going to say something about Flanagan then. She ran down, booted it off the carpet, followed it up and earned the free kick. Well done to her.
So she gets the hand pass off now to Mackie, and it's a famous name in this part of the world. Kick goes to a teammate there in Gilda. Gilda can't control the ball. It's very close to the boundary line. Picked up, and Sarah Good, she's been good, kicks the ball in forward, and that's a mark taken by Hannah Birchall.
She blazed a bit then going forward, with thanks to Just for Men Hairdressing in Forest Hill. They're at Brentford Square, Ross and Michelle Keeney. This is Lily Scasey.
I think it might be difficult for the girls to get their hands on the ball at the moment because there was just that bit of pattering of rain. So it's become a bit of a slippery ground, but they're doing rather well at the moment. So
and it'll be like a grand final. I mean, there'll be a lot of nervous energy out there to begin with.
I can't even imagine. I get nervous like walking across the field.
But that's mainly because you know you're coming over to work with us.
True,
that's
true.
Always going to give you nerves. Picked up by the captain in Kai's good hands out to Dylan of the Grace variety. She kicks the ball forward inside 50 almost. Ball spills, goes through the legs of the player there. Picked up in the back line by the captain in Goring. She kicks the ball out wide, misses the target that was Maguire. The foot race is on. It's Pereira versus Maguire. Maguire gets there first. Pereira tackles her well. Running in to go there is Yule. Yule, and Yule gets the ball back to Pereira, kick the ball towards the 50-metre zone. Going up but not being able to take the mark is Jamie Head. The Geelong defence under a bit of pressure here on the 50-metre line. They get the ball now and they kick it forward through the agency of Maguire, who followed up, and a good mark taken out on the far side of the ground by the Cats.
And Pereira, one of those players for Box Hill who came via basketball. She plays currently for Dandenong, but she's played for Canberra, Dandenong, Bulleen and Bendigo and won 3 premierships. So she has played sport at a very high level and at a national level, so she would be very competitive. So the ball's gone forward for Geelong, but just been taken out of bounds. Just forward of the centre, we will have a throw in. So we've played 8.5 minutes here, and Geelong lead 1 goal straight to Box Hill, 1 behind. Traditionally, the women's games are not as high scoring, but no less intensity. So here comes Geelong going inside 50 now. So it's picked up now. Just consider the play that was Boyd. So they go forward, looking for a mark there, and couldn't take it. Ball's still a bit slippery there. Should have taken it. Coming through there is Ivy. She kicked the first one. She could have 2 here! And Jordan Ivy has her second.
That was an amazing goal. She was being tackled as she kicked that, and she still managed to get it smack bang in the middle.
So Jordan Ivy, that's her second, and the second for the game. So they move on, Geelong 2 goals straight, 12. Box Hill 1 behind. They did well, Geelong, then they moved it forward pretty well, and they never lost their feet or anything. Whereas a couple of Box Hill players just lost their feet there. And how did you see it, Lily?
I saw it the same. It's a bit slippery. Well, I can say that it's a bit slippery out there, having not been down on the field. But a few of the Box Hill players, as you said, have lost their feet. So it'll be interesting to see if the skill level will come back up if the rain holds off.
So the captain of Box Hill there is Kais. She's had plenty of it for the Hawks today. Kick inside 50. This time is going to be repelled by the Cats. Coming back out now, looking for a teammate on the wing. Couldn't get there in time. Good hands by Van Dyke. Van Dyke. Hand pass gets intercepted this time by the Cats, though. They're bringing it down the wing, and standing there tall, and I'm talking tall, is Sarah Yule. Yule takes the ball out laterally, finds her teammate, and Paul Hooper, she's hit her on the chest, which is always good when you do
straight on, hit the target.
So Grace Dillon taking the ball, running forward. There are 2 Dillons playing, that's why we're identifying her by her first name. This time Flanagan with the kick, kicks it towards 50. Good intercept mark, though, taken on the 50-metre line by the Cats there on in defence.
So the player in Teague, I wonder if she's any relation to David Teague, ex-Carlton player. So she kicked long.
She is related to the Geelong Super Cats basketballer, though, because it's her.
Could be. So that was McElvina. Had a bit of it so far, but not both sides not being able to spot up a definite target. So Geelong come out of their back line as well. Box Hill probably just need one to settle them down so they can say, yes, we've got one, here we go. Still a good game of football. 2 straight Geelong, Box Hill 1 behind. And it's gone out of bounds on the full. We've played just over 11 minutes in this first term. So Box Hill, they chipped it over the top there. Mark taken by the skipper in Kais.
So for those who are watching footy, VFL women's footy for the first time, the quarters are the same length as men's. So in the case of the AFLW, because of the heat policy that they were playing shorter quarters. But in the VFL women's, the Swisse Wellness VFL women's, it is normal length quarters as it has been for the men's football. So the ball inside 54, the Hawks, umpire about to throw the ball up. That looks like it might be Darby doing the work for the Cats. Hand pass wasn't quick enough, and umpire says, no, you held on to that for too long, and I think that might be Cassie Blakeway, Wesley College's own. Cassie Blakeway.
It is, so Blakeway.
Caulfield Grammar, I believe.
What did I say?
Wesley College.
That's close. Same thing, only different.
Gee, she kicked over the top, kicked to a contest there, but a couple of players overrunning the footy. Good handball.
Good haircut.
Comes out there. That is a good haircut. I'd be very proud of that. That was mine. So ball now in dispute. See a couple of players wrestling forward on the ground. So well done there to Alicia Habib. We saw she gave off the first goal there, that Jordan Ivy kick. So the umpire pulls it up. Tap down there. Here comes Geelong out of the contest. Going long. Or sticking out one hand there, but not taking the mark for Box Hill. In again there, so here comes Box Hill, all caught with it. That's definitely gone. Gone. The umpire says no, and that was Jordan Ivy having a blistering first quarter. So trying to run in, but Box Hill just stemming the tide here. Plenty of players over the ball. The umpire will have to come in and ball this one up.
I think it's Pereira in underneath it there.
Well, Pereira's had a couple of fantastic second efforts there. Chantella Pereira. The umpire balls it up. It's tapped down there by Darby. Inside 50 for the Cats, holding
the Cats.
Holding the person, holding the player. So the free kick, you can say he's just saying holding the man. Hannah Mangan will go back. She didn't have a shot, but she kicked to space. Here's Box Hill now, just trying to get out of trouble. Chip kick in pursuit there.
Oh, good hands.
Picked up there by Nixon. So Nixon did pretty well there. Box Hill, they're working in packs. Trying to extract the pill, get it forward. All fours there is Claire O'Donnell trying to scoop it out, and we'll have a ball up. But thanks to M&R Davis Constructions, Mick and Robin Davis, 35 years in the building trade, they're pretty good. Here's Peter Lausch.
Yeah, Geelong girls look like they've settled a little bit better than the Box Hill girls, but with the conditions as they are now, Box Hill's got probably a 1 to 2 goal wind, and obviously with the rain coming and going all day, you'd hope that they'd make the most of that advantage and maybe kick a couple with a quarter time.
And Pete, from your vantage point where you are, I can't see where you are at the moment.
I'm
but
near the interchange bench off the Box Hill.
Oh yes, from you can see the side of the ground where we are underneath. Is there much of a crowd?
Big crowd. I reckon a lot of them have stayed. We've even got probably about 20 people above you guys in the top tier.
Okay, excellent.
So coming through the centre that time were the Hawks, but drop mark by Gilda. Put the player now in the van is Wardlaw, kicking the ball off the ground inside 50. She kept running, Wardlaw, which is great football, but it's going to roll out of bounds. Yes, it is. Right in the forward pocket, inside 50s. Any ideas on the inside 50s, please, Lily, with thanks to Dream Street?
Well, Box Hill have actually controlled the inside 50s. They've had 8 inside 50s to Geelong's 4, so testament to Geelong's back line for turning over the ball.
Well, down there we've got Woodruff and Trevelyan in the back line for Geelong doing a great job. We see a free kick though. This will be kicked from a fair way out.
I think it's Chelsea
32.
Dyer, and I think
32.
Yep, Chelsea Dyer. She was held in the ruck play, and so the umpire had no hesitation.
So Dyer will go back. It's a long way out for anyone to keep it. She's going to have a set shot now. So in comes Dyer on the right boot. It'll get to the top of the square. No one could take the mark there. Chain of handballs. Finally thrown on the boot there by Surgeon. She did well there. Here come Geelong. Cutting that off there was Nixon, but it's run out of bounds. We will see a ball in.
Right in front of the Peter Lausch fan club there, over there on
He's
the...
loving it over there. Have a look at the man. He's
on TV at the moment. He's not even a bit of a wave. That's
He's a great specimen, isn't he, hey?
Yeah.
Everyone should have their own Peter Lausch. So the umpire balls it in. Good work in the ruck duel there. That was by Dyer. So Box Hill, they're just trying to run it forward. Ball in dispute. Plenty players falling over. So there's the tall player there in Hines. Started in the ruck. She picked it up. Went one way then the other. The ball now in dispute again. Plenty of little handballs and give-offs there. Sarah Good in there for Box Hill as well, but the umpire will come and ball this up as Good picks herself up off the ground. So a good game of footy so far. 17 minutes played in this first term. Here's Box Hill, they're pressing now. They go inside 50. Mark should have been taken there, but was just fumbled out there. That was by Williams.
You've got to love Williams' commitment to the club. She's even changed her first name to being a suburb near here and called herself Lara.
That's very good, Neil.
Could have been worse. It could have been
jokes to
Newcombe.
the professionals.
Thank you very much.
So here come Geelong. Good work there. Throw on the boot was Blakeway. So kick to space there. Trying to run onto it now is Meters. So Meters gives it off to Pereira. Pereira, she just dropped what she could have taken first up. The possessions aren't perfectly clean here. We know that, but gee, there's a lot of heart and soul in there.
Mithen.
And here's Mithen at half back.
So Mithen kicks the ball forward over the back of the pack. Running onto it is Habib with the green boots. We love the green boots. We love her haircut. Ball hand passed over the top now to Darby. Darby can't control the ball. She's tackled by the Box Hill Hawks. Ball ends up coming out somehow. Habib taps the ball forward to Strawn. Strawn running towards goal. and kicks a goal, and the Cats go further ahead. They're now 3 goals straight. 18 minutes into the first quarter, Box Hill to 1 point, so it's a 17-point lead, 3 goals straight, 18. Box Hill 1 behind, 18 minutes in. That's with thanks to our friends at Dream Street Home Loans, and with thanks to Just Man Hairdressing in Forest Hill. Here is Lily Scacey.
I think the Box Hill women really need to pick up not their contested pressure, but their ability to control the ball after they win the contest. Because at the moment, they're a bit panicked, they're a bit like fly away in what they're doing when they've got control of the ball, and that's creating easy turnovers for them, and that's why Geelong have got 3 goals to zip.
Well, Box have had plenty of inside 50s.
They have.
So they have had plenty of possession, but they seem to be blazing away when they go forward, rather than using the structures that they would have learnt in the off-season. But it's in the centre of the ground. We've had a ball up. We'll have another one now. So the umpire, he throws it up. Tanner sort of got most of the touchdown there, but it pretty much went straight up and straight down. The umpire will ball it up again. So it's Tanner and also Hines in that ruck contest. Comes forward for Geelong. It's just like a rolling maul at the moment. Here's Geelong, that's great work, good handball going backwards, go forward. Well done there by, is that the skipper? No, that's Salafia. Salafia, number 26. Gee, back hit there, big hit. I said the umpire.
Somebody's out.
Free kick to Geelong.
So Elise Coventry has been confronted there. I think it might be O'Donnell.
It is Claire O'Donnell.
We're used to seeing the name O'Donnell in a Box Hill jumper being fairly solid at the ball. O'Donnell's standing up, but at the moment the other player in Coventry is laying on her back in a fair degree of pain, I would suggest.
There's absolutely no malice in that.
No, just 2 players going hard at the ball, and they might just have to hold up the game for a moment here. She's moving her arms and legs and everything. She's just had the wind taken out of her, I suspect.
She was grabbing her shoulder, and so I first thought it was her shoulder, but then she seemed to be moving that around, all right?
Now,
looks like they're playing 20 minutes with no time on.
Well, that's not necessarily what I was told by my sources earlier in the game, but 20 minutes it is. And at quarter time in the first ever VFL Women's Swisse Wellness VFL Women's game between Geelong and Box Hill. 3 goals straight Geelong, Box Hill 1 behind.
You know you'll feel better on Swisse?
Apparently I will, and they are the #1 multivitamin brand and proud sponsors. Swisse Wellness VFL.
Guess what I use from the Swisse? I use what they call an Ultivite.
Right.
And I also use their liver detox.
Is that right? Because I would think that neither of those would be necessary given the diet you keep. It is 3WBC football live from Simmons Stadium in Geelong. We're also streaming on VFL.com.au. Thank you for your company. We're going to take a short break and then we'll be back to hear what the coach of one of these sides had to say and some thoughts from Lee Scacey. This is VFL football, VFL women's football on 3WBC.
VFL football, live and local on your community radio station. 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
Ready, set. For Budget's best deals on car and truck rental, budget.com.au is good to go. It's where you'll find the best of Budget in a couple of clicks. Budget.com.au. With Budget, you're good to go.
Budget Box Hill, proud sponsors of 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
The Comfortably Numb Rock and Blues Show. We've got more music than you thought you could hear in 2 hours. 3WBC 94.1, the voice of the Inner East.
Join Andy, Daniel and Phil every Monday night on 3WBC for the latest tech news.
But this doesn't help any of us get NBN any quicker.
I didn't block any AML page. I was just reading that one article. I downloaded about 41 meg.
Hackers are not out to steal your credit card details by themselves anymore.
Mondays, 8 p.m. on 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
Hard Rock Hits with Donna and Daddy Who, 3 till 5, every Saturday afternoon here on 94.1 FM, 3WBC, when the football is not being called by the brilliant 3WBC calling team.
You got it! Join Andy, Daniel and Phil every Monday night on 3WBC for the latest tech news.
But this doesn't help any of us get NBN any quicker.
I didn't block any ads on the iMall page. I was just reading that one article. I downloaded about 41 meg.
Hackers are not out to steal your credit card details by themselves anymore.
Mondays, 8 p.m. on 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
The BizWiz is a business support service with a difference. We work with our small business clients to suggest and develop ideas that will help their business to fly. Pragmatic ideas, sound advice, practical assistance. There's plenty we can do to help you with your small business. Want to know more? Please visit us at bizwiz.com.au. That's bizwhiz.com.au. The BizWiz is a proud sponsor of 94.1 FM 3WBC.
This is live VFL football on 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
FM 3WBC. Welcome back to the Simmons Stadium. I did it again here at Geelong for the round one clash between Geelong and Box Hill in the Swisse VFL Women's and VFL Swisse Wellness, as Neil yelled out in the background because I haven't turned his microphone on yet, is of course a sponsor of the VFL and a sponsor of our program VFL Rewind here on 94.1 FM 3WBC. Just giving you an update on the quarter time score. Geelong 3 goals straight 18 are leading Box Hill 1 point, so that's a 17-point lead. Looking at the other games going on at the moment, the VU Western Spurs 2-2-14 lead Cranbourne 0, and the and I'm going to have that the Melbourne Uni team 1 point to the Darebin Falcons 0 at quarter time there, so very low scoring, probably due to the rain. And I'll give you some other scores during the half-time break. Just a reminder though, in the Peter Jackson VFL, Essendon 8-14-62 went down to Port Melbourne 12-17-89. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter, you can listen to us live online via our website 3wbc.org.au, and of course today you can listen to us as part of the video live stream at vfl.com.au. I'm going to hand it back to Neil Butler for the thoughts on the first quarter and some comments from everyone else. Welcome back, Neil.
Thanks, Phil, and welcome everybody listening to us on 3WBC through 3wbc.org.au and following us on the video stream today. Just need to say good day to Lindsay and to Peter, who have been tweeting us today. Peter, the answer to your question was no, they didn't shorten the game because of the delay at half-time in the men's game. It is quarter time here. The score, as Phil just told you, 3 goals Geelong, Box Hill 1 behind. Out there somewhere in what is a very healthy crowd.
Great crowd.
Yeah, I can't tell you how good it is, but they're very healthy looking, aren't they? Somewhere out there is Peter Lausch, who has been with one of the coaches at quarter time. What happened, Pete?
I went into the Box Hill Hawks huddle. Paddy seems very happy. He was just concerned with the defence of the Hawks. He reckons they were just rushing it out, and also their decision making needs to be better when they've got the ball. So when things aren't going their way, just slow it down a little bit, and you'll probably see Box Hill probably playing one extra in the back line this quarter.
There he is, Peter Lausch. For those who are joining us for the first time, because this is a very historic event, my name's Neil Butler. I'm calling the game with the other male voice you'll hear is Paul Hooper. The female voice you'll hear, Lily Scasey, we're going to hear from there. Your thoughts on the first quarter, just a few thoughts, maybe some stats as well.
Well, the ball did hit the ground a few times, so it was very contested, but Geelong did manage to capitalise on the time spent in their forward 50. They had 5 forward 50 entries to result in 3 goals, whereas Box Hill had 9, and they've only got 1 point. So hopefully Box Hill can start capitalising on those opportunities, and it'll be a good, tight game.
Welcome back if you are watching via video stream at vfl.org.au. Quarter time, 3 goals straight, 18 Geelong, Box Hill 1 behind. You're with Neil Butler, Paul Hooper, Lily Scasey, Peter Lausch and Phil Edwards here. So the umpire holds the ball aloft. I believe the video stream back up now. We'll see Cassie Hines for Geelong and Abby Tanner in the ruck contest. The umpire balls it up, and it was Hines who got the tap down. Wrapped up straight away in the tackle. The umpire will come back in and ball that up again. That was very good work by Tanner. She's a bustling looking player, so it'll be Tanner and Hines again. It was Hines who got the tap down. Here comes Geelong. Oh, beautiful little bump off the ball though. So Box Hill just move it forward bit by bit. That's Mackie with it. The umpire letting it go, which is good footy. So picking up, trying to get off a handball is Strawn, the goal kicker in the first term. 1 to Strawn and 2 to Ivy it was for Geelong. But Box Hill just pressing forward. As Peter Lau said, they might keep one extra in the back line, which we can see there now. And it's at half forward. We'll have a ball up. Half forward for Box Hill, half back for Geelong.
First time listeners, if you want to follow us in the future, 3WBC Football on both Facebook and Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. We can acknowledge you at the quarter time break. Ball comes out now. Danielle Higgins for the Cats does a good tackle. Now I can tell you Danielle is the sister of Sean Higgins, who plays for North Melbourne. But as my personal trainer told me during the week, more importantly, she's the sister-in-law of my personal trainer. And boy, has he got his work cut out for him.
I've got to tell you,
she's wearing the number 2 jumper today for the Cats. And g'day to Rob and his good lady wife who are listening, whose name I forgot, unfortunately. Going forward now, the Hawks inside 50. That was a kick forward by McElvina, but running onto it now, the Cats. That's a good piece of defensive forward line. Thrown onto the boot almost by Taylor and rushing through almost again. Oh, wow. Bad luck there for the Hawks. It's now Strawn bringing the ball out by hand. They're under all sorts of pressure in their back line at the moment. The Cats running onto it now is Ivy. She's been everywhere today, and she's been pinked for throwing it.
Yep.
And the free kick is going to go to the Hawks, and it's going to be taken by Salafia.
And Salafia, when she tackled Ivy, she pinned her arm, so there was no chance that Ivy could get the handball off. So Salafia will go long now. Coming in, started approach. Was it this? She's kicked it.
Lacks a fortune. Umpire said not 15.
No, that's ridiculous. Umpire. I'm sorry, umpire, but that's wrong.
And he's going to call 50, is he? Yep.
Umpire, you've wrecked that.
That's
do not take over the game, because that was definitely 15 for a start. The umpire was in bad position on the blind side. I'm not an umpire basher, but that was poor.
And it looks like a 25-metre penalty rather than a 50-metre penalty, doesn't it?
No, that could be right too.
Because, he's bringing it back further now.
But, gee, I mean, that was unfortunate. Box Hill were really pressing then. How did you see all of that there, Lily?
I think Box Hill did really well to not let Geelong take the ball out of their forward 50. It did seem like they were getting a little bit desperate towards the end, but,
good grab.
That's kind of what you've got to do.
So good mark taken in defence by the vice-captain in Tamara Luke. Of course, for those who might have heard that name before, she is the same Tamara Luke who played netball for the Kestrels. Ball goes in towards the centre. Running onto it now for the Cats is Strawn. She's been prominent today. She's kicked a goal as well. Hand passes the ball off now to her teammate. That was Blakeway, and kicks the ball inside and finds Darby just outside 50.
So Darby kicks inside 50 now, trying to spot up Habib. Habib running onto it. She's got it, she's lost it. It's just run through for a behind. So the first blemish on the Geelong score, 3-1-19. They lead Box Hill 1 behind 1 point. So Box Hill had their chances. They kick out now, go to the outer side, the Latrobe Terrace side of the ground. In the hands there of that, looks like that could be Strawn. She had a shot at goal. Box Hill have the mark though. So Box Hill will relieve. Seems a long way from home on the big ground.
Duel.
In the back pocket for the Hawks.
Do you want me to take it?
No, it's okay. Gone out of bounds now. We will have a throw, and you might have to because I can't see past the cameraman.
Who's doing a very good job on VFL.com.au.
Excellent job.
So the ball about to be tossed back in by the boundary umpire. It's spinning. It comes down now. Tap down. It's Abby Tanner who has taken the ball out of the ruck, and the umpire said, no, you can't do that unless you get rid of it straight away. It's going to be a free kick to Darby. The player in Tanner standing on the 50-metre line, so you'd think that it's too far out to score. Big long kick forward, falls at the top of the goal square. Running onto it now, it's Pereira. Quick kick forward. It's going to come out and stay in. Plays it? No, it's going to roll out of bounds before Charlotte Marnie could get her hands on it. Right in front of the Gary Ablett Terrace sign at the Moorabool Street forward pocket, city end of the ground, to the end to which the Cats are kicking in this second quarter.
Well, Pereira doing a good job down back so far for the Hawks, trying to keep an eye on both Habib and the other Geelong forward. So we've got it in the hands of Geelong, just going backward to go forward. Could have been smothered, but it wasn't. So goes inside 50 now for the Hawks. Salifa's there trying to scoop it out, which she does. Gets into the hands of Darby. Her kick was smothered. It's not out of bounds though just yet. Nearly there, and the umpire will have to come in and take over this unless it goes out of bounds.
It's almost a try, that one, isn't it?
It was a try. There was a big scrum of players there. Quite congested football, but the ground bathed in sunshine, and you can see there's nobody from centre half forward.
Well, it's 1/4 of the ground used, isn't it?
1/4 of the ground.
So the ball comes down from the ruck play, kick forward by the Hawks, rolling out towards the boundary line. 2 or 3 players come at the ball. That one was number 29, Book Surgeon, another famous number 29. We spoke to Dan Lowther earlier in the day. He was wearing number 29 before he handed over to a young kid called Gary Ablett, who could play a bit. And the ball comes back into play. It is this time, it was Hines up against Tanner. Kick forward by Ivy. She's been everywhere today, but cutting off the ball at centre half back is Sarah Yule.
So Yule with it for Box Hill. Kicks out to space. Well done. So Box Hill with possession. So in the hands there of Taylor. Taylor spots her target.
Luke.
That is Luke Long. And it's just touched over the line, out of bounds. Probably lucky that it wasn't out on the full there. Just unable to take the mark there was head. I haven't seen Papadopoulos yet. I want to see how she's going.
I want to hear you say her name.
Papadopoulos, that's no problem with that.
Yeah, no, well played.
Papadopoulos.
She may not actually be in the squad because they named a couple of players more than they needed. We didn't get a team sheet.
Of course. Trying to bustle her way out of trouble there is the skipper in Kais. The umpire will ball it up. So in the ruck contest, Hines there and Tanner. The umpire's seen someone flattened. It looks like Kais, is it?
It looks a bit like that, yes.
It is. So Kais got flattened there. You saw that, Lily?
I was just pointing out Cassandra Papadopoulos, who's now got the ball.
That's it, yeah.
And if that's the same Cassandra Papadopoulos...
She went to school with you too?
Yeah.
Oh,
did athletics with her.
There you go.
She has got a personality.
Coffin represent today.
So there's Pereira. Goes just forward of centre there for the Box Hill Hawks. Oh, Mark dropped what should have been taken, though, by Geelong. Was that a throw? No, said the umpire. Chip kick into space. That was good work by Geelong. So they come down on the wing. Kicked there by Coventry. Oh, here's Habib. Habib will go long. Kicks to space. So running onto it now, the Cats. It'll run out of bounds there, unfortunately, for the Cats. Boyd couldn't scoop it in, but he's half forward. They moved the ball beautifully then. They came across the ground, Geelong, to the Moorabool Street side, and they've run it beautifully down half forward.
This is live VFL women's football from Cardinia Park, Simmons Stadium in Geelong. Ball thrown in the forward pocket for the Cats. Picked up by now Habib around the corner, out of bounds on the full, I think. Yes, out of bounds on the full.
Was it?
Yep, just bounced on the other side of the line. But the field umpire's come in saying he thought it was touched. So boundary umpire's called out of bounds in the full. Field umpire's saying no, I think it was touched. And
the little confusing part is we've got the goalpost there, and then the was
nets.
Touched. We've got the nets as well, which also have padding on them.
Yeah, which make it look like... Yeah. So it is going to be a throw-in up against the behind post at the city end of the ground to which the Cats are kicking. Tanner up against the player there in Derby. Ball kicked out of the pack and brought back into play by the Hawks, but then kicked off the ground by, I think it might have been Boyd.
No, I'm telling you now, it was Strawn.
Strawn?
They've credited it with Strawn. It was actually tapped back in, but came off Strawn to go back in. So that's her second for, I think it was it had already crossed the line before it was back in. So Strawn gets her second, at least Strawn. So she takes the score now for Geelong to 4 goals, 125. The Box Hill Hawks, no goals, 1 behind 1 point. That's all with thanks to our scoreboard sponsor, Dream Street Home Loans. You can feel at home with us. Give them a call, 1300 230 240. A bit of push and shove in the goal square. But with thanks to Just for Men Hairdressing, this is Lily Scasey.
I think the girls are doing pretty well, especially Geelong, moving the ball quickly inside their forward 50, and Geelong have managed to suffocate the ball movement within their forward 50, and it's really paying off for them.
So Gehring got the ball out nicely to Mangan just inside 50, and Mangan says, well, you got it to me, I'll kick it back to you, Renee. And so Gehring kicks the ball back inside 50. Poor kick In the end, the Hawks defence coming through, might have been in the back. Umpire says no, holding the ball. Play on's the call. Mithen runs towards goal, kicks a goal, and that's another one to the Cats. Cats now out to a 5-goal lead. 5 goals, 131. Box Hill the single behind. We've played 10.5 minutes into the second quarter, and with thanks to M&R Davis Constructions, we might just throw down to Peter Lausch on the boundary and see what you've got to say to us.
Yeah, no, Geelong seems to be just moving that ball a lot quicker, and you look a lot faster than the Hawks at the present minute. So it's, I'll tell you that Box Hill would want to get the next 2 or 3 if there's any chance.
So up it goes in the centre, Paul Hooper to call the game.
So it goes up and down. Geelong with possession. Oh, look at that coming through like a steam train. There was Willett, but Box Hill with it. Good composure there. That was Wardlaw. It was Flanagan. Sorry. So Box Hill have possession, looking to go inside 50. Long kick. They go inside 50 now. Got the hands on it first. Hit Box Hill, but couldn't take the mark. Handball out. They're working very well here, Geelong, in their defensive 50. But here's Box Hill with a chance. This is through the aid there of Marnie. Marnie gives it across to, I thought that was the skipper, but it was actually Yule. She couldn't take the mark though. Here's Geelong, high up and under. Big pack flies. No one takes the mark. Here's Pereira. Can she pick it up? Yes, she does. Gives it off now. That was in the hands there of Flanagan again. The umpire said holding, and there will be a free kick to the Box Hill Hawks. She was lucky then, Flanagan. She could get rid of it, yeah, very lucky. Could have easily been holding the ball. So Flanagan goes to the outer side of the ground from where we are. Here come Box Hill, looking to go inside 50 again. And great mark, good contested, strong mark taken. Inside 50, trying to dive onto it and take the mark there was Head. She couldn't take the mark. Has it gone out of bounds? No, Head's got it again. Thrown on the boot, handball over the top it to no one. Here's Geelong. They're hunting impacts in that back line. Trying to kick it there. That was Hines. Hines got rid of it. Here come Geelong, but they've got no one forward of centre. So I have to run it forward now. Pereira just collared Mangan then, and but Geelong able to get it back out. Ball in dispute. Pretty scrappy sort of footy here. And Emma Mackey will see it safely over the boundary. No, it hasn't gone out just yet. Yes, it has. No, it hasn't. No, it's still kept in. Throw it on the boot there. That was Van Dyke. Geelong now with it though. Coming in board. Here comes Hines with a free kick. Umpire play on, it says. Yep. Yes, umpire did say play on. There's
called advantage actually.
Yeah, advantage. So Habib had it. Now it's in the hands there of Higgins. Higgins couldn't pick it up cleanly. Good pressure by the Box Hill Hawks defence. And we'll see a push in the back here, I think, will we?
Bit high, I think.
Yes, it is. And that was Papadopoulos.
It's easy for you to say.
She was having a crack there. Young Cassie. She's just got a great spirit about it. Papadopoulos, and she's having a crack.
The sun's out.
It's an odd sort of day, isn't it, down here? 1 minute it's raining, next minute the sun's out.
It's an odd sort of place.
Never an odd day in Geelong. It's a beautiful town.
So I'm not sure who that number is. Lash, you could probably tell me.
He could if he was turned on.
I'm going to tell you, I reckon that's Hayley Trevian. Perhaps so.
33. That would make it Hayley Trevian.
So well done, Hoops. Pat, pat, pat on the back to you, sir. So it wasn't the greatest kick, though. Gee, the whole heap of players in there. You just couldn't get the names out quick enough. Pushing the back. Here's one, here's two.
Oh, good
smother. Possession there. Well done by Box Hill. Just trying to work their way out of defence here. Tunnel ball. Tackle 8 on there. That was by Tamara Luke, the vice-captain. The umpire will come in and ball it up. But good work by Box Hill in the end there, Lily, to even just press it forward a little bit because Geelong had complete composure going forward.
Yeah, it was an excellent smother, and she managed to smother it and then hug it towards her chest, and just to move it forward and try and get it outside the 50, it was a really good effort.
Kick forward by the Cats now, and overrunning at that time was Darby. Ball is stacks on the middle, whatever that means, and it will be ball up about 35 to 40 metres out from goal for the Cats at the city end of the ground. Down it goes. Tanner taps the ball further down, running onto it. Kais, the captain for the Hawks. not able to extract it. I think the umpire's going to have to repeat the process. I'll get you to do this one, Paul Hooper, to see whether we can break the deadlock.
Swisse Wellness VFLW round 1. This is Geelong versus the Box Hill Hawks. Umpire balls it up. It's in the Geelong forward line. Bustling her way through and getting boot on ball was Trevian again. She looks like a handy player. So run through though for a behind. So 15.5 minutes played there, 20-minute quarters, no time on. 5-1-31 Geelong, 5-2-32 now. Box Hill 1 behind. Box Hill have had plenty of opportunities to score, just haven't been able to do it so far.
Not that clean as Geelong. Geelong seems to be a bit like cleaner.
No, you also see with the women's game of football, obviously they don't kick as far as men, so you can't get it there as quickly. She's a good smother there by Geelong, the forward player there, and Mark not long enough there, so it's taken by Wardlaw for Box Hill, goes long in front, pushing the back there to Mackie, but not paid, says the umpire. Mackie butters up again to have another crack. You're listening to us here on 94.1 FM, 3WBC, located in Box Hill. Also listening, streaming on 3wbc.org.au and video streaming via the VFL website, vfl.com.au.
So the ball in dispute on the 50-metre line, picked up by the Cats, running onto it now. There's a couple of spare Cats. That looks like it might have been so either Patrick Dangerfield or it was Woodruff, in fact, wearing the 35 in the hoops.
I'm pretty confident it wasn't Danger.
Yeah, no, just making sure, because I saw the 35 on the Cats jumper and I thought that might be Danger, but you never can tell. So up she goes, down it comes. Umpire's balled the ball up, kicked out of the pack that time by Blakeway. I believe she went to school with Lily Scacey. Umpire is called a free kick to go on the full.
You know that if you went to school with Lily Scacey, you'd be putting that on your resume, wouldn't you?
I would. Well, I have. And I didn't even go to school with her. I put it on my resume.
Did you go to school?
I enjoyed 4 or 5 years in grade 5. It was terrific.
Excellent.
Ball comes down to the front, kicked forward this time by Danielle Higgins. Her brother-in-law's my personal trainer, but don't hold that against her. It is Hines at the top, and Hines means biz, doesn't she?
I can't believe you got a personal trainer. He's getting money. He's getting money for jam, that bloke.
Plenty of jam too, incidentally.
Oh, absolutely. This is my favourite exercise. So the ball comes up and down, and
Richard Simmons, actually.
This is my favourite exercise. Emma Mackey had it there. So the umpire will ball it up half forward for Geelong. They lead comfortably at the moment. Well, Mackey came through, got one high.
Yeah, did she what?
So the umpire will pay that. Gee, the girls are going well though, both sides. 5-2-32 at Geelong. 2.5 minutes to go in this second term. Box Hill just the one behind, but have plenty of it. So just got to be a little bit cleaner, Box Hill, and they'll be okay. When they get it forward, it's quite exciting. Out to the Peter Lausch half-back flank there.
Salafia, I think that
was.
Good
mark taken. Willett, she's a very handy-looking player there. Comes forward, person in front, or just couldn't take the mark there for Box Hill. There's my favourite, Papadopoulos.
Any relation to Nick?
Nick Papadopoulos.
Used to play at
I don't think so, no, but
Frank's no, it was.
Here's Pereira. She's a good player too. Comes out the half-back, kicks it into space.
Good play then.
Patient here.
That might have been
well
Taylor.
done, ducked her head. Here they come now, Box Hill, up towards the forward line. It's one-on-one here. And mark taken and paid to the Box Hill player there in Flanagan. So Flanagan, she tries to kick it off there to the player
Dyer.
there. It's not Dyer, I nearly said Sophia. Dyer. Well, dire trouble for Box Hill because mark taken in defence by Geelong.
So the ball kicked out. Ooh, this could put a bit of pressure on the Geelong defence because it didn't hit its target, but good composure by Danielle Higgins. Onto the left boot. That I don't think was a natural kicking foot, but ball now on the wing right in front of us. Keep it here, girls, because that way we can see what's going on.
Oh, Pereira,
great tackling against Trevine. Pereira kicks the ball inside 50, looking for a teammate out there. Good defence, though, by the Cats, and running out with the ball now is the Geelong defence. Cut off, though, this time in the centre by Yule, and Yule doesn't know what to do with it. She was surprised by how much space she got and kicks that in. I think that might be a surgeon with the mark.
We can't be too hard on the girls for kicking it, but they're turning it over a bit. Box Hill got plenty of it, but they've just got to be a little bit more composed and not blaze away. Kicked into the person on the mark, and unless it's the man on the mark, it's hard to get terminology correct.
I think it's fair enough to say that.
It's hard to say it at times anyway, but they come running out of defence here. Another great effort there by Yule. But here come...
Party
here comes
Tricks
Geelong. Well done. Party Tricks is right. Oh, that should be holding the ball.
Half-time.
But it is half-time here at Simmons Stadium, where we're watching the Geelong VFLW Swisse Wellness game between the Geelong Footy Club and the Box Hill Hawks. And at half-time, Geelong go in 5-2-32. And we have Box Hill one behind to the score in that quarter. The goal kickers all for Geelong, 2 to Strawn, 2 to Ivy and 1 to Mithen. And we'll take this short break at half-time, Neil, unless you want to say anything. And we'll be back with the second half here, with thanks to Swisse Wellness and, of course, our own sponsor, Car and Truck Rentals, driving your dollar further. We'll head back to Phil in the studio.
This is live VFL football on 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
On 94.1 FM, this is 3WBC National News.
I'm Andrew Collins. More trouble for the Cronulla Sharks NRL club. Chairman Damien Keogh has stood down over allegations he was arrested last night in Sydney. It's alleged he was charged over the possession of a drug thought to be cocaine. Police say a man in his 50s will face court next month over the charges. John Coates has retained the Australian Olympic Committee presidency, defeating challenger Danny Roche in Saturday's election. Coates won the vote 58 to 35. $22 billion. That's how much the federal opposition says will be removed from education as part of Canberra's new funding plan. The opposition leader, Bill Shorten, is reluctant to say if Labor would restore the $22 billion if it wins the next federal election.
Well, I haven't given up on the fight to make sure that the funding doesn't get cut. Now, I'm not going to send up a smoke signal and say that we've given up on fighting to oppose these cuts. And I've got a message here for the Greens. The Greens should not be voting for Malcolm Turnbull's cuts to education.
Country music legend Loretta Lynn has been hospitalised after suffering a stroke. The 85-year-old singer-songwriter was admitted into a Nashville hospital yesterday. Her publicist says Lynn is responsive and expected to make a full recovery. A teenage girl remains in coma after a botched carjacking on the Gold Coast. A 17-year-old boy allegedly connected with the incident appeared in court today, with the judge adjourning the case until next week to review a conditional bail application. Police allege the pair held a woman at knife point at suburban Helensvale, but the driver drove off, knocking the girl to the ground. The 15-year-old girl suffered critical head injuries. Detective Senior Sergeant Mark Proctor says the driver didn't even realise she'd hit anyone.
She wasn't aware that the girl had been injured. She just believed that she'd managed to speed off. Like I said, she seized on an opportunity.
A Tasmanian coroner has ruled a Chinese tourist who died from hypothermia during a hiking trip through the Tasmanian wilderness was ill-equipped and had inadequate clothing and food supplies. 21-year-old Kang Jin died in February 2014 while attempting the overland track at Cradle Mountain in very poor weather conditions. A man's been jailed for more than 5 years after appearing in the Perth District Court, convicted on charges of blackmailing and threatening women, saying he'd post explicit photos online and burn down their homes. 37-year-old Lee Abbott took almost $160,000 from 12 women. He initially used text messages to ask for help with things like rent. The court was told when the money dried up, he threatened them, telling one woman he'd send bikies to her home and workplace. Measures are being put in place to mitigate the flood risk in the Hawkesbury Nepean Valley. The New South Wales government is spending more than $50 million to raise awareness in the flood-prone area. It's also committed to raising the Warragamba Dam wall by 14 metres. The Victorian state opposition has delivered its budget reply to the party faithful, declaring it can win the next election. Opposition Treasurer Michael O'Brien says Victoria's taxes are now the highest in the country. He says huge stamp duty and land tax revenue is propping up the budget, but spending is out of control. This is Air News. Josh Dugan's in doubt for the upcoming State of Origin after suffering an injury in last night's Anzac Test. The centre scored the opening try for the Kangaroos' 30-12 victory over New Zealand, but it's come at a high price. Coach Mal Meninga says it's unclear how severe the injury is.
We believe it's a depressed fracture of the cheekbone. Haven't heard anything back from the hospital.
There are 3 internationals today. Papua New Guinea plays the Cook Islands, Tonga tackles Fiji, and England plays Samoa. In the AFL, Geelong takes on the Gold Coast Suns tonight. Cats coach Chris Scott has brushed aside any concerns regarding the umpires ahead of the clash. Earlier this week, Suns coach Rodney Eade complained about 2 costly decisions in their loss last week. Scott says he's not worried about the refs' decision-making.
I think there are a few ambiguities in the rules this year that are slowly being fixed up. So I think it'll be, if we had 50 priorities going into the game, that will be right down the bottom of it, probably 51.
In games underway, North Melbourne leads Adelaide 64-0. The match between Collingwood and Carlton just underway a short time ago. Australian Independent Radio News.
For easy automatic trucks, Budget's good to go. One of Australia's largest rental fleets at great rates. All you need is a regular car licence. Book now at budgettrucks.com.au or call 13 27 27. With Budget, you're good to go.
Budget Box Hill, proud sponsors of 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
The BizWiz is a business support service with a difference. We work with our small business clients to suggest and develop ideas that will help their business to fly. Pragmatic ideas, sound advice, practical assistance. There's plenty we can do to help you with your small business. Want to know more? Please visit us at bizwiz.com.au. That's bizwiz.com.au. The BizWiz is a proud sponsor of 94.1 FM 3WBC.
You're listening to the broadcast of the Box Hill Hawks by the commentary team here at 94.1 3WBC, the voice of the Inner East. And when the football's not on, folks, you can listen to Hard Rock Hits with yours truly, Daddy Who and Doma, in the studio between 3 and 5 o'clock every Saturday afternoon.
When the footy's over and it's time to get back to the weekly grind, join me, Peter Cassidy, for Monday Breakfast with a Bounce from 7. I'll get you up and about and into the day with music, local, national and world news, traffic, train and weather updates, studio guests, interstate and overseas correspondence, sports report and the misadventures of Chicken Man. Monday Breakfast on 94.1 3WBC.
With every Box Hill Hawks game live, this is VFL football on 94.1 FM 3WBC.
FM 3WBC. Welcome back to Simmons Stadium here in Geelong. My name is Phil Edwards. I'm just going to give you some score updates during the halftime break. And the halftime score between Geelong and Box Hill in round 1 of the VFL Women's, Geelong 5-2-32, lead Box Hill 1 point. And look, it's a slow start for the Box Hill Hawks. They will continue to improve as the game and the season goes along. So it's not a good scoreline at this stage, but there's some really good signs out there. Looking at the other games in the VFL Women's at the moment, it is half-time between Darebin and Melbourne Uni. Darebin 1 point to Melbourne Uni, 3 goals, 1-19. And half-time Cranbourne versus the VU Western Spurs. Cranbourne nothing to the Western Spurs 3-7-25. We'll get some other scores for you as they come through. Looking at the AFL though, the game that's underway at the moment is between North Melbourne and Adelaide, and it is half-time at Blundstone Arena in Tasmania. North Melbourne 12-6-78 lead Adelaide Crows 5-6-36. It was a 72-point lead to North Melbourne at one stage, and the Crows have clawed it back. There's a long way to go in that game, so hopefully for the sake of North Melbourne supporters, they'll hold on to that. Looking at the other game going on at the MCG at the moment, the 125 25th anniversary between Collingwood and Carlton. It is 17 minutes into the second term. Collingwood 3-5-23 trail Carlton 5-5-36 as we get a bit of wind from the effects mic, and we'll keep you up to date with that score. It's getting close to half time there with only a 12-point lead to the Blues. In VFL action, of course, our broadcast game earlier today in the VFL Peter Jackson VFL men's, Geelong 8-5-53 went down to the Box Hill Hawks by 42 points, 14-11-95, and Essendon 8-14-62 went down to Port Melbourne by 27 points. It was a pretty tight game, and Port Melbourne blew away at the end of it. I'm seeing if I can get any other scores for you at the moment. Sandringham Zebras lead the North Ballarat Roosters by 5 points. 12 minutes into the second term. We'll be close to half time there right now. We'll get you some update scores throughout the afternoon on that. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at 3WBC Football. You can listen to us live online via the website 3wbc.org.au, or download the TuneIn app and do a search for 3WBC. Also today on the coverage of VFL Women's, we are providing the coverage for the live streaming available at vfl.com.au, and of course you just go to YouTube as well and do a search for AFL Victoria and you'll see the stream come up there, so you can watch it live on your TV or mobile device. It's enough from me. It's time to hand back to the commentary team, and welcome back Neil Butler.
Thanks, Phil, and welcome to everyone having a listen. For those of you who have never had the pleasure of listening to our company before, we broadcast all Box Hill Hawks games in the VFL, and today is our first time broadcasting VFL Women's, the Swisse Wellness VFL Women's. This is the first game at that level for either of these two clubs, the Geelong Cats and the Box Hill Hawks. And as Phil told you at half-time, 5 goals to 32, the Cats to a single behind for Box Hill Hawks. I'm joined by Lily Scasey with thanks to Just for Men Hairdressing. And Lily, in that first quarter, just looked like Box Hill were just coming to terms with the pace of the game. It's just a bit quicker than they're used to playing, some of them, I think, and it's just a bit of a scrappy game.
Yeah, Geelong really ran away with it, but interestingly, by half-time, 13 inside 50s to Geelong to 14 inside 50s from Box Hill. So it's not as if one of them's winning the ball more than the other in terms of getting the ball forward, but I just think Box Hill have a few nerves to settle, and I think that's really unfortunately impacted their scoreboard. But also, Geelong have very much more of a football presence in their players. So there's 3 players who have played for Carlton and 2 for Melbourne, and that doesn't mean that Box Hill don't have some excellent talent in their side, but perhaps that experience playing those games is impacting
well, it's interesting. I put together the sort of 4 or 5 players on each side that I thought were so far the better players for each team, and for Geelong, in no particular order, in number order, I've identified Elise Strawn, Cassie Blakeway, Jordan Ivey, Alicia Habib, and Anna Teague. And as I look at the list of players who have played AFLW, that includes Elise Strawn and Jordan Ivey, and also Kate Darby, who I thought was one of the better players as well. So there's been a number of players who have featured in Geelong's better players that are amongst that. For the Hawks, I've put down Emma Mackey, the former Australian cyclist, 6 years as a professional cyclist living overseas and now back playing footy. Chantella Pereira, I think, has been really good in defence. Sarah Yule's been handy around the ball, and also Tamara Luke has been really good in defence as well as for the Hawks. Of course, a Melbourne Kestrel's netballer. So arguably the most unusual conversion to football, though, comes down to Hannah Mangan, who was an Australian ultimate frisbee representative.
Well, at least you know she's got the hand-eye coordination there.
That's right. Yeah, but when she gets the ball, she's going to flick it, isn't she?
Yes.
But it's hard to see, I think, the Hawks getting back from here and making any great inroads into the Geelong lead, you would have thought.
I think so. Is it unfortunate for the girls? Not quite the start to the season that they would have wanted. But I think they also really need to start using Chantella Pereira a lot more. She was a big presence in the second half, but she's been excellent in defence and getting that ball forward. She's proved a real asset to the girls.
So we are 3WBC Football, for those of you who are listening on through the VFL stream. For those who are listening through 3WBC, we're also doing the audio for the VFL video stream, which you can watch if you want to at the same time. So you get our broadcast and you'll get the pictures of the game being presented by the guys out there on the balcony in front of us. So VFL.com.au.
And I was going to say, we've had a couple of comments come through that the audio's a bit crackly on the video stream. I've conferred with my fellow technologist, being the video producer, and it's just a bit of an issue. We're mixing, of course, our broadcast for radio, and it's just a bit of an issue with the line going in there. So we apologise, but you're getting all the action regardless.
Excellent. So thank you for that. Hello to Justin Cooper, who's decided to start following us on Twitter as well today. So obviously a first timer. Umpires coming back out on the ground. I'm glad the umpire didn't put the ball in the air this time, because at half-time in the men's game, when they were coming back for the third quarter, they put the ball in the air and the siren went and it kept going.
Every time I hear the siren now, I get a little bit nervous. It's not going to stop.
For those who were with us an hour, 2 or 3 ago, when half-time finished, umpire came back out, siren got stuck. It got to the stage where the sound was so loud and so continuous that all players on both sides had to leave the ground and go off the ground and come back out 15 minutes later, which is why this game's slightly delayed.
And there was also a raucous round of applause from the crowd when it stopped.
Yes.
They sort of thought they'd all gone deaf for a moment. The Cats coming back onto the ground now. We're expecting to see the Hawks very soon. One of the great things, Lily, clearly people will have worked out by now, judging by your voice and your name, you are of the gender that is playing the footy out there today. One of the things I really liked about what I saw at halftime, it happens at all VFL games, but our first VFL women's game, the number of young people out on the ground, but today, the number of young girls out on the ground having a kick of the footy, and I've got to say, I was going to say grown up, but they're being silly, those girls now, but some adult girls as well, out there having a kick of the footy at halftime. It's really good to see.
Yeah, I was actually going to comment on that. So,
oh, really sorry.
Thanks for that, but no, it is fantastic to see, and it's a great opportunity for younger girls to see that there is an opportunity for them to get to that professional level, which it was around in some sports, not as advertised as it was the men's, but now that the young women can actually see that there is that elite level of sport that they can get to, it's just something to aspire to.
I think also, putting on my local hat, being a local down here, the fact that this is effectively a transference of the licence from the North Geelong Magpies to the Geelong Cats. There's already something of a following, and there was already something of a pathway. So in some respects, that may be why Geelong have had a bit more of a settled lineup today. They've got, we said before, they've had 15 players that came from the North Geelong team, 15 players from other parts and 15 players from other sports, and that's been a really good mix. For Box Hill, this is a brand new setup. There was no Box Hill Hawks women's team before. It's not as though they've taken the Knox side or the Cranbourne side and said, hey, you're now part of Box Hill. So it's a bit of a motley crew in that respect.
Yeah, it has proven a little bit difficult for Box Hill, but hopefully they can settle down and get a few scores on the board.
The one thing I was going to say for women's footy down here as well, we're sitting opposite the new stand here at Simmons Stadium, and while it's not fully operational yet, we actually saw some workers in there earlier today. But one of the things that it does have, and will be available soon, is they've actually built change rooms specifically for the women's teams as well in there. So the facility down here is second to none, not only for the AFL side, the VFL side, but also the VFL women's, and presumably long-term an AFL women's team for Geelong. So it's a great setup down here. It's only going to get better, as we said earlier. They've got some funding for expanding the ground even more. Yep. All the power to Geelong.
Fantastic stadium, and as I said, as a local, something to be really proud of in terms of this stadium. The remaining section of the ground that's not done yet will be done not too far down the track. As you say, Phil, they've already looked at the girls' situation in terms of change rooms. There is talk of an extra franchise in the A-League down here. There's talk of also being an AFLW side. There's some talk of the Melbourne Renegades being relocated down to this ground. Certainly some discussion about the Western Bulldogs playing home games at this ground. It's a fabulous facility, and for a city like Geelong, it's becoming more and more of a focal point. And they were bitterly disappointed not to be included in the AFLW for this year, and they expect to be first cab off the rank next time round.
I think you're right, and I think they will be. It's the thing that's going to suit Geelong and this stadium really well is that it is got quite close proximity to public transport, and Melbourne is sorely lacking with the extra venues with only Etihad and the MCG for the major games, and we saw a lot of use of Princes Park for the AFL women's. But the problem with we're getting some issues with radio mic. The thing with the Princess Park, though, is that because Carlton's built their big facility there, it can't really be turned into a full-service stadium like it used to. So, that's going to actually work in a massive advantage for Simmons Stadium and providing the facilities for all levels of competition that Geelong provide.
I think it's just filled a massive hole, especially because you are going to get the AFL W sides coming up.
Are you calling Geelong a hole in the stadium?
I'm joking. I'm just being a little bit offended by that, to be perfectly honest.
No. It's filled the hole of missing stadiums.
No, I agree.
So you've got all the AFLW teams coming up. So there is a need for new spaces like of this calibre to fill that hole, and that's exactly what Geelong are doing.
And as part of the, let's call it ambitious suggestion that regional Victoria becomes the host of the Commonwealth Games, this is the athletic stadium that they're proposing. So it could even be used for world sport very soon. But we are almost in readiness for the second half. Paul Hooper has managed to put away 3/4 of the Canteen's stock and is ready and waiting to call the third quarter of the VFL women's game between Box Hill and the Cats.
Umpire balls it up. It was Hines and Tanner in the ruck. Hines got the tap down. They go forward now, Geelong. Nerves will have settled by now. No one can pick it up. Ball in dispute. Big pack of players diving on top of it. That was the hottest pasty I've ever eaten in my whole entire life. Burnt on the bottom.
And there's nothing worse than being burnt on the bottom, is there?
Sunbaked down here in Geelong.
That's what we do.
Right there, you got to laugh.
Thank you. It was good that the ball didn't go anywhere because it meant we could have a good laugh.
Umpire balls it up. Tapped down there by Tanner. Here come Box Hill. Just go forward of centre. Mark not paid there. That was Flanagan. Goes out towards the Latrobe Terrace side of the ground. Picked up there by Trevian. Been a good player today. But in the hands now of Box Hill. The umpire's the whistle.
The tackle was too long.
So Mackie drags herself up off the carpet. Here she comes. She's one of the very few players that has the whole lot of the long hair out.
Yep.
Whereas all the others are in buns or ponytails or whatever.
Commentator's nightmare because it actually hangs down over the number.
We know what she looks like. She's got the white boots on as well. So Box Hill just inching their way forward. A couple of good contested marks taken. But there is Hines. She's been good in the ruck and also good down back. She floats down back when she's not in the ruck, so playing her role perfectly.
Good
Gets
mark.
it forward. Ablett. No, it wasn't Ablett. It was Jordan Ivey, number 5. So Ivey, good player. She was intending on going around the Box Hill player, but actually kicked it straight into the Box Hill player's guts. And now the ball in dispute. The umpire will come in and ball it up 5 metres out from the line.
Thanks to M&R Davis Construction. We might just duck down to Lauschi since he's right in front of it.
Yeah, a bit of a niggle going on there. The Box Hill seems to have come out a little bit more positive, a positive frame of mind for this quarter. So let's hope we see a goal or two soon by the Hawk girls.
So out of bounds on the full. Sorry, did you want it?
No, go for it. No, you're right there.
The umpire said touch, so that will be a throw-in. There's Paddy on the boundary. You can just see him there prowling the boundary.
He's looking for Peter Lausch for some advice.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
Forward for Box Hill now. Trying to run onto it and pick it up there.
Beck Goring.
Beck Goring, the skipper. Haven't had much of it today so far, Beck. She's the captain. So kicks to a contest. Tanner couldn't take the mark. Doing some heavy work in there is Mackie. She's not a bad tackler, Mackie. Yep. She has a crack. Going okay.
Pete, how's the crowd looking? Has it sort of diminished significantly since the men's game, or is it pretty much the same?
It's probably about the same. The 20 or 30 people who were up above the commentary box have been obviously removed and put down. But I reckon it's about the same crowd.
When he says they were put down, we don't take it that serious down here. We don't. Ball out in dispute out on the far boundary in front of Lauschi. Box Hill trying to get the ball forward, but good tackle there by the Cats. That might be a bit high. And the free kick will be taken there, and that looks like it might be Madison Jensen.
She's got some significant tattoos, Madison. She's got the sleeves.
So she's kicked the ball down now, all up, none down. Ball hits the ground. Picking it up was Marnie or Mahoney. Or
if you're American, maybe.
Yeah, or you're a fan of what was that show? A Police Squad? No,
Police Academy.
Police Academy. Yeah.
Mahoney. So the umpire throws it in. Tanner in the ruck against Hines. No clear tap out. Trying to burst away through there is Mackie. She gets the handball off. They go forward, Box Hill. But they're just kicking it forward, just blazing away, Box Hill at the moment. Plenty of opportunities to get inside 50. There's Brownless. Actually, it's not really Brownless. It's actually Lara Williams. Inside 50 for the Box Hill Hawks. Here's a good chance now. Can we get to see a Shepherd? That was a good Shepherd going around, and Box Hill have a shot at goal through the aid of Gilder. But Emily Gilder just off line there. One behind the Box Hill. They go into 2 straight behinds, 2 points. Geelong are 5-2, 32.
Running towards it, picking it up is Caulfield Grammar's own Cassie Blakeway. Crashing tackle there. Van Dyke down in the middle of the ground, hasn't moved. So the Cats going forward in a hurry. Running onto the ball now is Jordan Ivey. Ivey kicks the ball with her left foot, finds the player down here in the forward line, Habib. Habib's got time to pick up the ball, turn around, kick it around her body, and that is a goal to the Cats. And you see the Cats doing that, and you think, gee, they're just a little bit slicker through the centre. Geelong 6 goals, 238. Box Hill just the 2 points, and with thanks to Justman Hairdressing, Lily Scasey.
I think that's just a testament to the experience that Geelong had. She was, if you could help me out with the name of that one.
The player?
The player.
That was Alicia Habib.
Alicia Habib. She was under pressure, but she managed to keep her cool, push off the tackle, and snap it around the body. So it's just the experience that they have in the team.
And Box Hill were pressing there, Lily. They were forward for a lot of that play, but once they got clear, Geelong were a lot more clinical in the way they moved the ball forward.
They're connecting very well, especially because the women can't move it down the field as quick as the men. They're connecting very well to get it in their 50.
This is a better move by the Hawks, getting it forward, kicked forward by McElvina, but a good mark taken there. No, not paid was the call, didn't go far enough. Hand pass, Geelong defence under pressure. For the Van Dyke family, if you're listening, Jade is up and about and running around, so it was just a nasty winding more than anything else. Box Hill player slung to the ground, no free kick. That's a poor kick though by the Cats coming out of defence. Out of bounds on the full, and the free kick looks like it's going to be taken by Claire O'Donnell. If someone will hand the ball back, thank you very much. She can't reach it, so someone tall is reaching over to get it. So Claire O'Donnell, at this stage, we're hoping that the ball comes back at some stage. No time on, of course, so all the time they take is wasting on the clock. So O'Donnell with the free kick. She's about 65 out from goal. She kicks the ball inside 50. Well played that time by the Cats' defence, though. Good hands by the Hawks. Comes out now, and Geelong, in the agency of my personal trainer's sister-in-law, Danielle Higgins.
My brother's cousin's uncle's auntie's friend.
I'm my own grandpa. Have a look at that as a song on on YouTube at some stage. Blake, that was Hines who brought the ball down. Good interception, touched by Luke, and it's going to be Stacks on the mill. Ball up right in front of us here on the Millwall Street wing here at Simmons Stadium, Cardinia Park, South Geelong, Victoria, Australia.
Umpire will ball it up. So it was Tanner who got the tap down. Box Hill able to remove the pill from the contest, but here's Geelong now. That looks like Ivy there. Got a handball off. This will go out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Tampa's just starting to get a little frayed.
I don't mind that.
No, it's all good.
Bit of passion.
Shows a bit of interest in the game.
So umpire will ball it in. Looks like that'll be Tanner and Hines in the ruck. Hines got the double-fisted punch down at forward. You've got to be at the foot of the ball there. It's pretty simple. Where is it and who's got it? The ruckman has it. That was Ivy again, got the handball off. Here come Geelong. Nearly said Switkowski there, but it was actually Dillon. That's Grace Dillon.
Yeah, now Rosie Dillon's not playing as it's turned out.
Okay.
So the players who were named that didn't make the team: Kaludrovic, Piva, Harrison, Rosie Dillon and Catania. So the umpire throwing the ball back in, and it's spinning, tapped down by nobody, and ball spills to the front. McElvina put her head in and got it bumped. Picked up now for the Cats by Gehring. There's a Gehring and a Goring, and that's not confusing at all. And umpire's going to ball it up on the wing. Up it goes. It's Tanner and Hines again. can't believe Hines didn't go for number 57, but Higgins gets the ball, hand passes it off to Jansen. Jansen kicks the ball forward. Good mark, almost taken. Oh, it paid. Oh no, arms chopped. And the free kick will go to the player here in Ivy. She was quite prominent in the first half of this game, kicking a couple of goals in the first quarter. Ivy kicks it inside 50. Tall timber down there. Falls to Habib. Habib hand passes it off, looking for Gehring. Gehring can't get it. Hand passes it now off to Surgeon. Surgeon kicks the ball forward. It's rolling. And so Surgeon has got her first for the day, and Geelong pull further ahead. They're now 7 goals to 44. Box Hill 2 behind. We've played half of the third quarter, and that's with thanks to the good folks at Dream Street Home Loans. Field home with us. Give them a call, 1300 232 40. They are station sponsors, as are Just For Men Hairdressing, who bring us Lily Scacey.
Well, just in this quarter alone, Geelong only 3 inside 50s with Box Hill at 4, so fairly even at the moment. Well, I say even, but look at the scoreboard. So, as I said before, Geelong are just moving the ball a lot cleaner through their forward 50, and they're managing to impact the scoreboard, whereas Box Hill just struggling a little bit because Geelong are able to put on that pressure.
And free kick there to the Geelong club because the Box Hill players went out of the square. That's the second time that's happened.
Yeah.
So inside 50 now for Geelong. There's a bib running onto it. She's well tackled. Can't give it off, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. She's strong a bit, but she just couldn't break the tackle there.
The disappointing thing about those two free kicks is the players have been well in. It's not just foot on the line. They've just been.
They've got to be aware of that.
Disorganised.
You've got to be aware of that. I'd just say it was a good goal there by Surgeon. I was nearly going to say by the call that she cut through that pack with ease.
She like a surgeon.
Like
for the very first time.
Cutting for the very first time. So tackle laid on there by Sarah Good. Ball pops out. Box Hill picked that up through the out of McElvena. She's not been the worst player for Box Hill today.
Who has, Herbs?
I reckon Pereira's probably been one of the best for Box Hill down back. I think Tamara Luke good.
Thought Sarah Yule was good in the second quarter.
Yep. So Empire will ball it in. Doesn't get closer than this to us.
Well, it could come up here in the stand with us.
Well, could, I suppose. So it was Yule in the ruck contest that did get it down. Box Hill just not super clean with their possessions. Oh, pushed off it. That was good. That'll be a free kick.
Yep. 50. I would have thought that'd be a 50, wouldn't it?
That should probably be.
There were two possessions after the umpire paid it.
He gave a soft 50 before when he realised he was on camera and everyone was talking about it. Only joking. So comes down there to the lines. Well, she got crunched. Trying to get rid of it. It's pretty tough in the clinches there at the moment. Don't worry, these girls are having a crack. 3WBC, it's 94.1 FM, streaming at 3WBC Radio, 3wbc.org.au, and video streaming via the VFL website, vfl.com.au. This is Neil Butler.
Do you think we'll be asked back?
To where? To Geelong? I mean, you live here. So
no, I'm talking more about vfl.com.au, but that's okay. So the ball right in front of us, and we're going to have a bit of stacks on the mill again, and umpire will come in and we'll ball up. Good to see the Locker Group and Market Square getting behind the girls as sponsors on the jumpers for the two sides. That's good footy, good for footy down here. Ball kick forward this time, and that's out on the full from Sarah Good. You wouldn't call that a good kick, you'd call that a bad good kick. And it will be brought back into play by the Cats off the half-back flank.
So here come the Cats. They've actually shown pretty good poise there. There's Lara Williams. She's been good down back for the Cats on the left boot. High up and under, big pack will fly there. Garing couldn't take the mark, but she flew well. Handball off there by Habib. Coming inboard now through Birchall. Birchall goes long. Here's Papadopoulos. Oh, she dropped what she should have taken. Now she's besieged upon. Uses a bit of strength. Tries to bustle her way through, but that's definitely got... Is that holding the ball? It should be. Go on, you Cassie.
Because she took on 17 of the 18 players out there.
She would have roared too, straight through, and well done to you, Cassie. But she should have taken that mark. That was the trick. And Box Hill have dropped many, many marks today, which hasn't helped. And rather than try and spot up a target, just go along with it, and you're a chance. So just dribbles inside 50. That's for Geelong. So through the aid there of Mangan, so now you paid that, but there's no way that was 15.
And that one that cost Box Hill an opportunity earlier.
Plus a 50 was poor. So we shall see. This is Hannah Birchall. No relation to Grant, is she? We don't know.
I don't believe so.
No,
I think it's Birchall. Yes, this is Birchall.
So in comes Birchall, right foot. Nice looking kick, goes to the top of the square. Ball in dispute. Box Hill really battling hard to get it out of their defensive 50. But the umpire will come in and ball it up. So we're literally 15, 18 metres out from the Geelong goal. In the pocket. Tap down. Mangan again with it. She's had a good game for Geelong.
Frisbee champion.
Frisbee champion. So I'm waiting for when the ball comes, she's going to jump up and grab it like down the beach. There is a fair income. I know somebody used to play the Frisbee competition. It's quite fair income.
Yeah, well, she's an Australian representative, so that's nothing to be sneezed at.
Good, yeah. I only throw it around the beach when I'm drunk over Christmas, but
and that's not even the Frisbee.
That's not even the Frisbee. Yeah. So Strawn, been a good player today. It's just hanging in there, out of bounds now. It's forced over. Mackie in the thick of it down there.
So's Renee Gehring, number 12. She's been a really well-known netballer around town. She's won 3 best and fairest in the GFL Netball League, so certainly a netball presence, but now taking up footy as well.
But I love it when people like that really challenge themselves, because she could easily just float along playing netball and enjoy it and win more awards and premierships, but they want to challenge themselves, so I really respect that as well.
And importantly, a Geelong girl as well playing in the Geelong side. It's a really important part of the community down here from that when that sort of thing happens.
So good tackle and free kick paid to Box Hill. That was good defensive pressure there.
Wardlaw.
So that's Wardlaw, and just tackled Woodruff.
Or Dangerfield, depending upon who you think.
I think it was Woodruff. Yeah, well, Dangerfield probably not. He's 35.
Yeah.
Okay, so this, I think, is...
Emma Mackey.
It is Emma Mackey, number 1.
Look to get on her bike.
Well marked. So Box Hill putting plenty of pressure on the player, but that wasn't the best kick. That's gone out of bounds on the full. Should have just gone down the line rather than trying to spot up a target.
This is Renee Gehring as we speak, the netballer.
94.1 FM, 3WBC, thanks to our major broadcast partner, Budget Car and Truck Rentals, also streaming, video streaming at vfl.org.au.
Kicked forward that time by Mangan, the Frisbeeist. Oh, good hands off now to Coventry. Good to see her back out there. She was poleaxed in the first quarter, but she's back out on there. Good defence by the Hawks, though, coming through there. Can't work out who that was, but that's a terrific kick and a good mark taken by Emma Mackey. Mackey takes the ball in further. A good mark again.
This was Papadopoulos who brought out
excellent.
Defense.
And this one's the captain in Melissa Keyes. Keyes kicks the ball out, and this is more like it. Hawks running forward. This time kicking forward was Grace Dillon. She's looking out there for Gilda. Gilda shugs her opponent, takes a bounce if you don't mind, runs around the Geelong captain in Goring, kicks it forward. Good defensive mark. Good defensive mark.
Dear, oh dear.
Is that Ivy? No, it's not Ivy. It looks like I saw a 5 on her
Taylor
back.
just unable to get in front there for Box Hill, because she would have been nearly in the goal square. But here come Geelong again. She was good work. Box Hill run that out beautifully. I'll just get some opinion in a moment. Next stoppage with Lily Scasey. Mark taken by the ruckman in Hines.
That mark back there was Anna Teague, by the way, the basketballer.
Yep. So here's Box Hill again. Chain of handballs. Or just got to make sure you hit up your target if you're going to do that. So Geelong now move forward. That's through the aid there of Jansen. Everybody overran it. Here's Box Hill defending grimly now. Oh, big tackle laid on there. That was by McElvina. She looks a likely type as well. Ball drops down to Ivy. She kicked 2 in the first quarter. Goes long. Fell in the hands there. Boyd.
She sort of danced
just while she lines up here. We'll get some thoughts and opinion from our special comments person, in Lewis Casey.
I thought that was excellent of Boyd to be able to break through those two Box Hill players.
Danced around them, didn't she?
Yeah, I actually didn't see her coming, and then she was just there. So
like the action you'd see on the floor of the Sphinx Hotel in North Geelong.
Left foot went through for a behind. She's on the wrong side for a left footer there.
You know where you'll be tonight then.
That's it. Down at the Sphinx or at the Gateway. She moves better than I do, let me say that for nothing.
So Box will kick it out. Back pocket.
Metres, I think you'll find it is.
I think you'll still find that there's a fair bit of pride going on here for Box Hill, even though they haven't kicked a goal. They'll be trying their best.
I think Paddy would be happy with their intent, their determination. It's just that at times they've just looked a little bit rattled by the level they're playing at. And Geelong have played really, really good footy. Let's not take anything away from them. I don't think Paddy would be, he'd be disappointed in the result, but I don't think he would be disappointed in the work they've done.
So high up and under there from Mangan. No one takes the mark. Running on to try and pick it up there was Dylan. That's Grace, because Rosie's not playing.
The thing is, though, Neil, that a lot of the issues that Box Hill are having are things that are going to improve with match game practice.
Absolutely.
Because when they're getting the ball free and getting those running passes, they're actually doing really well.
Yep.
It's just those contests that they're having the trouble with.
There's a parallel between that and the team I follow in the men's. That the bits of play are good. It's just not continuous. It's little bits and pieces here and there.
I think they have the Box Hill women have a similar style to the Box Hill men. Yes, the game isn't quite as fast as the men's, but Box Hill, when they get the ball in uncontested possessions, they can connect well down the line, especially when they connect down the wings. They're getting it down into their forward 50, and it's good to see that they can improve on what they're showing at the moment.
Well, it's three-quarter time here at the
goal, though.
It'd be nice. Three-quarter time. It is 7 goals, 3:45. The Cats to the Box Hill Hawks, 2 behind. We'll take a short break. We'll come back very soon with the comments from the coaches. This is 3WBC football. It is VFL.com.au football live from Simmons Stadium in Geelong.
With every Box live, this is VFL football on 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
Ready, set. For Budget's best deals on car and truck rental, budget.com.au is good to go. It's where you'll find the best of Budget in a couple of clicks. Budget.com.au. With Budget, you're good to go.
Budget Box Hill, proud sponsors of 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
The BizWiz is a business support service with a difference. We work with our small business clients to suggest and develop ideas that will help their business to fly. Pragmatic ideas, sound advice, practical assistance. There's plenty we can do to help you with your small business. Want to know more? Please visit us at bizwiz.com.au. That's bizwiz.com.au. The BizWiz is a proud sponsor of 94.1 FM 3WBC.
Join Andy, Daniel and Phil every Monday night on 3WBC for the latest tech news.
But this doesn't help any of us get NBN any quicker.
I didn't block any ads on the ARMO page. I was just reading one article. I downloaded about 41 meg.
Hackers are not out to steal your credit card details by themselves anymore.
Mondays, 8 p.m. on 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
You're listening to the broadcast of the Box Hill Hawks by the commentary team here at 94.1 3WBC, the voice of the Inner East. And when the football's not on, folks, you can listen to Hard Rock Hits with yours truly, Daddy Who and Donna, in the studio between 3 and 5 o'clock every Saturday afternoon.
Steve here. I've just popped in to invite you to join me on Monday at 10 a.m. through to midday to share a box of chocolates.
Never know what you're going to get.
That's Monday from 10 a.m.
this is Neil Butler from Radio Gaga, and if you enjoy the wide variety of programs presented on 94.1 3WBC, we would like you to become a member. Members can support the running of the station by participating in the management committee and working groups, training as presenters and producers, and becoming involved in fundraisers and special events. To find out how to get more out of your community radio station, visit our studio in the Box Hill Town Hall Hub, or call us during business hours on 9285 4846. Or visit our website at www.3wbc.org.au and select membership. A new and satisfying interest will be yours when you join the 94.1 3WBC team. We are your community radio station and the voice of the Inner East.
Talking about a lifetime plan. VFL football, live and local on your community radio station. 94.1 FM, 3WBC.
94.1 FM, 3WBC, this is VFL Football, and welcome back to Simmons Stadium in Geelong. The three-quarter time score, Geelong 7-3-45, lead Box Hill 2 points. Not a great start for the Box Hill Hawks. Looking at the other games in the VFL Women's three-quarter time, Darebin versus Melbourne Uni. Darebin 1-4-10, trail Melbourne Uni 3-1-19, and Cranbourne 1-1-7, trail the VU Western Spurs 7-11-53. Looking at the AFL very quickly, it is 14 minutes into the third term at the MCG. Carlton 9-5-59 lead Collingwood 4-5-29. And down at Blundstone Arena in Hobart, the North Melbourne Football Club will probably have this game tied up. It's 24 minutes into the third term, 15-12-102 lead the Adelaide Crows 9-7-61. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at 3WBC Football. You can listen to us live online via the website 3wbc.org.au, or download the TuneIn app and do a search for 3WBC. We are also today on the AFL Victoria video stream, which is available at vfl.com.au, and you can watch the game and have our commentary piping into your very, very fresh ears. So enjoy that as well. That's enough from me, though. We're going to hand it back to the commentary team and welcome back Neil Butler. G'day, Neil.
G'day, Phil. Thank you for that. And I've got to say, the Melbourne University side has got one of my favourite women's players in it. A lady called Caitlin Ashmore wore the number 10 for the Brisbane Lions in the game at the start of the season, and she's got Simon Black sort of tendency. She's just a really good footballer, and she's back playing with the Melbourne Uni side, my old school. So we're just waiting for the crowd to settle a little here. They've got to get off the ground. Terrific level of crowd here today, male and female. A lot more girls than you see at footy normally. We're joined back in the commentary box by the person that we love even more than we did before, because she's brought back another sausage roll for me to have during the quarter. Lily, we'll just jump down and see what Lausch's got to say from the coach's box, and then we'll hear from you during the commentary. Thanks to M&R Davis Construction, Peter Lausch.
Yeah, Paul Hood was very happy at three-quarter time, as you would be when you're 44 points up, and he just wants the girls just to finish this off and go into this quarter full of gusto, kick the first couple of goals, and then they can focus on next week after a big win. And there was a lot of high-fiving and hugging, and it was a bit of a love fest in that huddle, really.
Yeah, but that's only when they saw you. So that's Peter Lausch down the boundary line. Welcome to you if you're listening to our broadcast for the first time. It is 3WBC Football. We broadcast all of the Box Hill Hawks men's games. We'll be certainly doing some of the women's games during the year as well. If you're listening to us on vfl.com.au, you can also like us on Facebook or Twitter, 3WBC Football.
So they go up in the ruck now. It was Palmer who got the tap down. That wasn't Palmer, it was actually Darby who got the tap down for Geelong. They move it forward now, inside 50, full of confidence, the Cats. In the hands there of Garing. Going forward, one-on-one. Habib couldn't take them up, but over the shoulder. That is a free kick. That was McElvena back there who may have infringed on Habib. So free kick to Habib. She'll kick from a little bit better than a 45-degree angle.
I think, though, if you're Paddy Hill, today you just say, OK, well, look, McElvena, you're playing forward, now go down and play back for a quarter. I think just to sort of mix it up. They're not going to win the game, obviously.
No, but it's going to be, look, first game, nerves, everything like that, getting your structures right, all that sort of things. Absolutely. They'll be better on some of the suburban grounds, Box Hill, where they can grind it out a bit. Here comes Habib. Little stuttered start, though.
Oh, kick the ground.
She just didn't get onto that properly there. Didn't make the distance. But Geelong still have it. That's through Ivy. And Ivy couldn't pick it up. Comes back inboard now, though. Handball, that was Boyd. A little push in the back. The umpire didn't pay it. Pretty good work by hands there by Jansen. They get a mark now, Geelong up forward.
Good use of the ball by Mithen that time. She just could have blazed towards the goals, but saw her teammate there in Hannah Mangan in a good position, just kicked it short to her.
Yeah, so Mangan's got it. Look, I think Mangan will struggle to make the distance from here. She'll kick from 40. Coming in now. Prove me wrong. That's a good kick. Made it to the top of the square. A lot of the women don't kick really more than 30, 35 metres anyway. So handball over the top. Here's Habib. She bustled her way through there. Oh, someone's cocked a kick right in the guts there. Habib gives it off to Ivy. Here comes Box Hill. That's through Yule. She got the handball away. It's really contested and congested. Out of bounds again, just a couple of metres around from the Geelong point post.
Metres is back up. One way in which the women are more progressive than the men, though. In the men's side, we've got a miles, and here we've got metres. So at least they've turned metric in the girls' team.
I don't know what you mean, but
miles and metres.
Yes, I do know what you mean.
Keep up. Yep. Kicked out this time by the captain in Kais, but that's a little bit too wide, and the ball sails out over the boundary line, out of the vision of Paul Hooper because of the cameraman standing in his road. And the free kick will be taken by Jordan Ivy, who's had plenty of it today. She's amongst the Cats' best players, and she's going to come and kick towards the top of the square. That's a good. That is an amazing kick. That is a goal. That will be the goal of the day for Aaliyah Framing, no matter what else happens today. That's her third for the day, and she's kicked that from a really acute angle from 40 metres out and takes Geelong to 8 goals, 351. Box Hill a couple of points. We've played 3 minutes in the last quarter with thanks to Just for Men Hairdressing. Here is Just for Women, Lily Scasey.
That was an absolutely amazing goal by Ivy. I actually thought it was going to go wide on that one.
But I thought she was going for the top of the square.
It was amazing, actually. I don't know what else to say about it, apart from it was amazing.
Hashtag amazing. So the umpire balls it up in the middle of, where are we? Simmons Stadium.
Don't say it.
I'll say it now. So the skipper there in Kai's tried to get rid of it. Ball in dispute. Here's Geelong going forward again. That was a good kick. Well done. In the hands of that player, Ivy again.
She'll kick this now.
She'll kick it from 60. But she does get rid of it. Here's Box Hill now, just looking for an exit path out of defence. Can't find it. Scrubber of a kick. It'll be rebounded back inside 50 by Geelong.
Blakeway.
Trying to take the mark there was Tamara Luke. She couldn't take it. I called her Macabina before, but Tamara Luke's minding Habib, doing a pretty good job of it. Mark not taken. Chopping of the arm, said the umpire. That'll be a free kick to Geelong's Blakeway. So Cassie Blakeway on the outside of the ground. I'll continue this because Neil's eating a pie. I think someone else might be eating a pie too. I won't throw to either of you guys.
If you say I'm eating a pie, my personal trainer's listening.
Oh, sorry. He's having a piece of lettuce. So here comes Box Hill. That'll be the day. Good mark taken at half back by Box Hill, or back pocket nearly. But no one to go to, and Box Hill just not doing enough to give their players something to kick to. Goes around one player, goes around two, took one bounce, goes around the third player, finally got rid of it there. That was Meters. But kicked it straight to Williams. So Lara Williams, she'll go inside 50. Bit of a tumbling kick. No one could take the mark there. Picked up by Box Hill, Sarah Yule. She gave it off. Here come Box Hill now. Unable to pick it up cleanly though. So a big tackle laid on by the player in Anna Teague, and she looks like a likely player too. Tough in the clinch. The umpire will come in and ball it up. So we've now played 5.5 minutes into this final term. Geelong 8-3-51, Box Hill 2 behinds. Historic day here at Simmons Stadium where we've seen two brand new clubs enter the VFL women's competition. That's thanks to Swisse Wellness. You feel better on Swisse, you always do.
Can I say you look good?
My liver doesn't ache as much when I take their liver regeneration detox
Miracle
tablets.
workers.
Miracle workers. You can only do so much. Here's Box Hill, half back, trying to go down the line there. Nearly out of bounds, and run out of bounds now by the tattooed Jamie Willett.
So 6 minutes into the last quarter, you're listening to 3WBC Football, streaming live also through VFL.com.au, streaming live through 3WBC.org.au, also available 94.1 FM in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. The Cats bring it away from the wing, kick it forward looking for Mithen. She's not quite tall enough. In fact, I saw her in the street the other day. She's not tall enough for anything. She's tiny for an elite footballer. In the hands now of Good. She's been good, and I don't mean that as her name. She's been good. Now in the hands of the captain in Kai's 2-on-1 situation. Chantella Pereira has the ball, kicks the ball out, looking for a teammate there and finding her good kick. And that's Mackie. On your bike, Mackie. He's called play on.
Umpire, you are a shocker.
He called play on 3 times.
She didn't have time to get back on her mark. She's going back on her mark and the player was infringing. Ordinary stuff. Don't worry, you're on camera. Everyone can see you, umpire. Well done.
I think he said that she ran off the line was the interpretation.
That's poor.
She's still explaining it. So the ball to be tossed in front of us, out of bounds on the slightly forward of the centre on the wing here on the Moorable Street side of Skilled. No, Simmons Stadium. You guys got me saying it's a volleyball match at the moment. Kick forward this time by the Hawks. Coming out to meet it and kicking it inside 50 again is O'Donnell, but that's a throw if ever there was one. Ball spills out, running through and doing a nice spin is Maguire. This is not going to be 15. Yes, it is. He's paid the mark. So the Cats running out of defence with a good kick. That's a good kick, good mark, and that's taken by Ivy. Very close to best on ground for mine. She's kicked that into the person on the mark. Goes and recovers. Ball comes back with Wardlaw, I think, who copped it in the guts as well. Kicking it forward now, it's tapping it forward for the Hawks, but the Cats end up with it. Ivy again, she gets it off to a teammate in Gehring, the netballer. Coming through the centre like the absolute train was the Hawks player, can't see who it was. That's dropping the ball, and that's Flanagan, a famous name down these parts as well. Advantage
so
play.
One plays dropping the ball, the other umpire plays over the shoulder.
Wow, there you go. I was watching the player with the ball.
Together.
I'll leave it with Paul Hoop while I have another mouthful of my
Go for it. So, in the hands now of Wardlaw for Box Hill. Runs around her player. Puts it up forward. Nearly inside 50. Trying to swing around and pick it up there. The Box Hill player couldn't do it. Wardlaw backed up pretty well then. But just didn't put it out in front enough of Gilda, couldn't take the mark, so the umpire will brought in forward 50 for Box Hill. We'd love to see him get a goal. Umpire tosses it in. That was Palmer from behind, got the tap down. It was a good tap down. It's deliberate, but the umpire won't be looking at that. Keep eating your pies, guys.
Okay, I will.
Paul, you and I can just take over the commentary.
Easily. So, here's the boundary umpire, who's the biggest person on the field. Tosses it in too. Whee! Palmer got the tap down there. She looks like she'll be okay as well. Good work through traffic there was Flanagan. Went up forward. Staging for a mark, but not played there. That was to Surgeon.
Touch for the very first time.
So here comes, she cut through traffic there. Well, it could be a bit high, but the umpire's miles away. Don't know what he thinks he can see there. Been a bit critical. I hate grandstanding. So we'll head down to Pete in a minute. Next stoppage. Comes outside 50. Oh, they run in hard, the players there. And they'll have to come and pull this one up. Neil Butler chokes on a bone in the pie. We'll throw down with thanks to M&R Davis Construction. This is Peter Lausch.
Yeah, Box Hill looks a little bit more positive this quarter. Their decision making is just letting them down when they're going forward. And in saying that, you know, I think Paddy Hill's got a lot to work with this group. He's sort of always talking to the players when they're going on the ground or off the ground. He's been coaching for 3 quarters on the ground, a la Gary Ayre style. and it's just starting to drop rain again. So
you haven't been helping them as well, have you? Giving them some advice on the way through?
No. I'll leave the advice to Paddy, mate. I'm just sort of the footy trip organiser at the end of the season.
Yeah.
The dirty bus driver. Yeah, that's another story. But Pereira, beautiful at half back, and she followed it up again. Kicking long.
5-on-1.
You're not allowed to go on the girls' trip away, Pete, I wouldn't think.
Come on, mate, it's equal opportunities these days. That's what Australian women's football's all about.
That is true. So it is 50 metres.
That's disappointing for Emma Mackey. I think she's still annoyed about what happened down here.
Oh, would you blame her?
And so she's just basically, and she's been dragged now, just was a silly piece of play on her part. Inside 50 now, the Cats, and Habib's been good.
Yep, very good.
Ball being kicked off the ground almost there by the player there. Who was it? It was Meters. She's come good in the second half.
Yeah, she looks good too.
I was going to say, I reckon Box Hill are playing with more aggression.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this last quarter. It's not paying off for them, but they're really, really trying to push it into Geelong.
Palmer and Boyd. Boyd got the tap down. Ball kicked straight into the skipper's guts there. Picking up there was Meters. Palmer just trying to crash her way through the pack there. And she was held up. The umpire says, I will ball it up. Half forward for Geelong. Played 12 minutes into this final term here. Our 8th quarter of footy today.
You'd think we'd be better at it by now.
We reckon we would be. We're lucky we've got Lily Scasey here with us, which is handy. She finished her pie yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done, Lily.
That's her
Just
third
finished
pie for the
my
day.
chocolate bar as well.
Oh,
chocolate bar.
She brings me back a pie and brings herself back a pie and a chocolate bar. What's going on there?
Well, your personal
Specify.
trainer,
Specificity.
Dwayne from...
Oh, he might be listening, mightn't he?
Yeah.
I tell you what, those carrots and celery sticks were very hot. Anyway, the ball's gone over the back. Habib's been a really good presence in the forward line. She's tackled really well there, the Hawks player, and rolled her. That's a technique that is becoming more and more prevalent in this game, which is great.
Yep, got to do it.
Tamara Luke was the Box Hill player, but in the old days, a lot of players would just shove them in the back, but they're learning to tackle and roll them, which is fantastic to see.
Do you ever hear from your personal trainer in Sydney, Dwayne from Punch Bowl?
I brought him back down to Melbourne with me.
Oh, he'd be loving that.
Yeah. I just want to know, I'm the most unhealthiest person here, and I've eaten the healthiest things all day compared to everyone else.
No one likes to show off, Philo.
It's about the first time ever, though.
That's it. But it's all good. So the ball coming out the other side there, and it's the Cats trying hard to get a handle on the ball. I'll tell you who I reckon that's Mithen in there, and she's held up, and it'll be balled up at the centre-half forward position for the Cats. We've played 13 minutes, 13 and a half minutes. We've got 6.5 minutes left in this game of footy. Stick around after the game. We'll have an interview with one of the players. We'll also be doing a bit of a post-match. We'll also go back and get some music as well. Free kick being paid to the Cats.
Infringement by Tamara Lugans. Look, she's a big bustling player, and so is Habib. And she just got over her shoulder a little bit, but that's real the old style ticky touch with Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. But if it's there, you got to pay it. But you got to pay it everywhere, don't you? You don't pay it at one end and not at the other. Not that I'm saying they were. I wasn't having a go.
Good. Well, Habib should have no problem here. She's about 12 metres out.
Already has one.
Bit of an angle. She throws the grass in the air. No big wind to speak of. Coming in now on the right boot.
And she's
sprayed it to the right. She should have kicked that.
I think she'll be disappointed with that for sure.
Geelong 8 goals, 452. Box Hill 2 behind. By my rudimentary mathematics, if the game stopped now, Geelong would have a percentage of 2,600%, which is a good start to the season in anybody's book. Ball kick forward. Oh, good mark by the Hawks there. That is the player in Abby Tanner.
Oh, Tanner.
Not Abba. Abatani. So Tanner has been pretty consistent through the day. She's tried hard through, as most of them have.
She's been good. She's been one of the best for. I've been calling her Palmer half the time, but it's Tanner.
Ball kick forward, and ball spilled by Jamie Head. My grandfather was here. He'd say if it was a custard tart, it would have spilled all over her. Ball ends up in the hands of the Cats defence. It looks like it might be Surgeon. She was surging through, but couldn't get there. And the ball's going to throw it up, the umpire's going to throw up, as it were, just between the front of the centre square and the 50-metre line for the Hawks.
So Tanner, and looks like it could be, it was Boyd.
Should be Boyd by her performance.
They go up. No one can grab it clear. Real scrappy stuff there.
Is that Kai's underneath it? No, it was in fact Nixon.
So the umpire balls it up again. Tanner got the tap down again. She's been good in the ruck. So here's Box Hill through Papadopoulos. She go forward. She got scratched around the neck there. No free kick there though, umpire. Might have ducked her head a little bit perhaps.
I think that's what he called. This boundary umpire out is looking cold. Must be cool out there.
Well, it's pretty nippy. So the umpire balled it up. Trying to pick it up now is Trevine. She's been okay too. She copped one there, but the umpire didn't pay the free kick. Here's Box Hill trying to get the handball out. That's Marnie. Now it's Geelong. May have possibly been grabbed it out by Papadopoulos. We like young Cassie Papa. Hayley Trevine with it at the moment. The umpire will come in and ball it up. Well, not long to go there. We've got 3.5 minutes. We'd love to see a goal from Box Hill if they could just snag one. That'll make their day. Next week, of course, 3WBC are back at Box Hill City Oval on Mother's Day on Sunday, the 14th.
Make your mother listen to us.
The seniors start at midday, and then the women's start at 3. We've also got a development game there, so a triple header on the ground.
Good value for money. $10 to get in. You'll see 3 games of footy.
Well, nothing if you remember.
Correct.
So here going Box Hill. This could be the last throw of the dice for the Box Hill Hawks to kick a goal. They go forward now. Unable to take that grab there was Taylor. She was besieged upon, but her second effort was good. Goring, the skipper, was in there for Geelong. Gave it off there, and that was well done by Geelong. They've just had the better structure today and maybe slightly better intensity. Handball there by Mithen.
She's been missing everything, hasn't she?
She's got it back again, looking for Habib. Habib jumped and didn't take the mark, one-handed. The umpire will come in and ball it up. So 2.25 minutes to go here. It is Geelong, 8-4-52 to 2 behind to the Box Hill Hawks. Oh. Running in, this will be an easy goal for Strawn. She's kicked 2, that will be her 3rd. So Peter Lausch with 2 minutes to go, I would say maybe grab the skipper, Beck Goring, 44, because she's the skipper, number 44, or you could get number 1, Elise Strawn, or number 5, Jordan Ivey for a chat. 3 goals to each of those girls.
I'll do my best to see if I can arrange one of those to 3.
All right, mate, just stand there for a second while we have a quick chat.
Or number 2 for Danielle Higgins. That's my personal trainer.
That's who I was thinking originally.
Yeah, she won't know me, but that's okay.
No, don't get her.
No, I was joking.
Skip up.
Okay, 44. I'll endeavour to do that.
Okay, mate. And number 5 balls it up in here. You have the last bit of the call if you like, Neil.
Thank you very much. Ball running out of the centre, running onto it now and kicking it forward is Flanagan inside 50 for what, about the 25th time today, but still no goals. Box Hill crashed to the ground. Umpire says play on. Holding the ball in there now, the Cats, doing their very utmost to not give away that goal. Coming out now almost to the 50-metre line. Handball, poor handball as it turns out. Coming through, kicking the ball quickly.
1 minute.
And not scoring, rolling out of bounds. That was a quick kick forward by Ebony Nixon. And it'll be out of bounds, up against the behind post. They've got less than a minute to get the ball in and convert it to a goal. They haven't scored a goal. We are less than a minute from the end of the game. Lily Scasey is beside herself, which is quite strange because she's beside me as well. And tapped down in front. The Cats desperately trying to hold it. Kick out of the pack. Oh no, I thought it was going to be there, but it was kicked by Ebony Nixon again. And Paul Hooper to bring us home for the last 20 or 30 seconds of the game.
So Geelong clear with 20 seconds to go. Box Hill would love a goal. They can't get it. There's Tanner. She's been good in the ruck for Box Hill today. The umpire will come in and ball it up. This will probably be the last play of the day with just 10 seconds remain. It's been such a pleasure and a thrill to be part of this first game. So the umpire balls it up. Geelong will win. They'll do it easily in the end. And here is the siren. So the Cats, they have a victory, their first victory in their first game. 9 goals, 458, Box Hill 2 behinds. So we'll look at the goal kickers while Lauschie comes, I wouldn't say sprinting onto the ground, but he's making his way onto the ground there.
He's moving like frozen molasses.
The good thing is, if you get a little interview here, Pete, you'll be able to just stick the microphone up towards us. Lily's leaving us now, but we thank you so much, Lily, for everything today.
Yep, thank you, Lily.
She's going to go do her media requirements down there.
The good thing is, Pete, that Geelong go off over here, so you won't need to go walking with them. We'll check those goal kickers for Geelong. 3 to Strawn, 3 to Ivy, and 1 each to Mithen, Surgeon and Habib. And there were no goal kickers for Box Hill, sadly. That is the final score. Geelong 9 goals for 58. Box Hill 2 points. This is the post-match brought to you by Dragon City Tattoos. The time is about 10 past 4. We will look at holding this broadcast till about 4:30, and then we'll pass back. Peter Lausch, you are down on the ground with one of our guests, and who have you got down there for us today?
I've got Elise Strawn, number 1 for Geelong. Great first up game, great game for yourself, 3 goals. Obviously, you've been waiting for this day for a very long time, long pre-season, and it's finally arrived, and a great result first up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very historic day for the club. The Geelong Football Club has got behind all the girls down here. It's been a long pre-season. And yeah, it's just nice to put on a show for the crowd and just really get the ball rolling for our season.
Elise, it's Neil up in the press box. I think that means that you've played the same number of games for Melbourne as you have for Geelong this year. Just in terms of the intensity of the two sorts of levels of football, is there a great difference in the intensity, or is it about the same?
To be honest, it's about the same. I think the pressure's always going to be there with the girls that are competing. I think everyone's really hungry to get out here and compete, so the levels are pretty much the same. It's probably just the skill execution. That'll come as the season rolls on.
And Elise, your goals across 3 quarters were fantastic, but early on I thought both sides were maybe a bit nervous, but once you settled, your structures looked a whole lot better and you're able to hit targets a whole lot better more than Box Hill.
Yeah, I think Hoodie's really drummed into us some really key messages, and to be honest, at the start we're all a bit frantic, and that's going to come in our first game. But as the quarters went on, our structures stood up against Box Hill, and yeah, it was fantastic to play the way that we want to play, and hopefully that continues on with the season.
Well, thank you for being the first ever VFL women's interviewee that we've ever had on 94.1 FM 3WBC. Congratulations on the win and all the best for the season.
Thank you, much appreciated.
There she is, Elise Strawn, Melbourne footballer, and now Geelong VFLW footballer. Spoke really well. It's
3 ripper goals she kicked 2, all great goals.
And tried throughout the day. So well played her, and well played Geelong.
Well, they did it well, Geelong, and as I said, I felt that both sides were very nervous in that first quarter, and once Geelong settled, they settled the better of the two. Both playing catch-up after that, and look, you've got it when we see 7 or 8 players with AFLW experience. Of course, that's going to be difficult for a club like Box Hill who have 1, but Box Hill will improve. It was a shame that they had quite a few inside 50s and weren't able to score a goal, but look, don't be too disappointed with that Box Hill, because you'll be able to learn from that. You'll play on a lot more suburban grounds than this, where it'll be tougher, tighter, and you'll be okay. Bustling side. I thought some of the better players, I went to the best till Pete gets up here, but some of the better players for Geelong, well, obviously Elise Strawn with her 3 goals and Jordan Ivey with her 3 goals, and a couple of Jordan's goals were just brilliant as well. Lily Mithen kicked a good goal, so did Brooke Surgeon when she came out of the pack, just burst through and kicked one that last quarter, and Alicia Habib with one in the 3rd quarter. They're all good players too, but I thought in their ruck, Hines was pretty good early on, but I actually feel that Abby Tanner got the better of her in the ruck contest. Box Hill just weren't able to take it away, but there was some good players for Box Hill in Mackie, Pereira, Kais as well, and Papadopoulos I thought was bustling across half-back as well. But look, I think we really enjoyed that game, and it'll get better for us too as we go along.
And I think the other thing that's really nice to see, the Geelong players are still on the ground signing autographs and everything, and there's a really good crowd around it.
Oh, for sure.
And I did have a bit of a smile to myself. Arj Jesus, who does the photography down here, posted something on Facebook about 4 or 6 weeks ago. They had the quote season launch unquote at Market Square Shopping Centre, which is a shopping centre in the city here, and that's who their sponsor is on the back of their jumper. And the caption was a good crowd at the season launch for the VFL Women's Cats. I reckon there were 7 people there, and I thought to myself, gee, I hope that's not indicative. But you look out there at the moment, there's got to be 200 or 300 people gathered around the team, and they can't get off the ground at the moment. They're coming off now to raging applause. And the nice thing is, a lot of the people who are standing there are also female as well. So there's obviously a bit of a taking up for footy in this part of the world in VFL women's footy. So that concludes. I think we've already concluded our online component. So.
Votes?
No, I was just thinking in terms of... I was going to say goodbye to the folk who were doing the video, but I think we've already left the video.
Started raining again.
Started chucking it down. That should be a good way to get them off the ground. Let's talk about best players. We've also got some sponsors to talk about. We've got next week's games to talk about, and we'll do that now. Let's look at the better players. You've gone through some of them already, Hoops, but we might ask you to give us your 3, 2 and 1.
Oh, okay, well, I am going to give one vote to...